Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2023 Volusia County Beach Safety Ocean Rescue Interzone Competition. With me today on this beautiful afternoon here in Daytona Beach is Chief Andy Etheridge and Captain AJ Miller here with the Volusia County Beach Safety guys. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Jack. As Jack said, this is a beautiful evening. We're looking at an absolute awesome night of racing. These lifeguards have worked all summer. They've been training, and they're ready to get after it.
We had some afternoon thunderstorms, AJ. Is that going to affect the way these guys compete today?
Nah, I think these guys and girls are ready for anything. We had those torrential downpours come through earlier that gave us a little scared if we can do it, but the water's flattened out, the wind's still cranking, and it's going to be a beautiful night for racing.
Andy, a lot's changed since last year. We had some bad weather in the fall, and it's affected some of the ways we do things around here, and it's affected a lot of the assets that we have. Can you speak on that?
You're not kidding, Jack. You know, in November we had two hurricanes, devastating hurricanes that hit this area, and we're not immune to that just like everybody else. We actually lost one of our district lifeguard stations to the ocean, and so because of that, we're only down to 3 teams competing tonight because we had to combine a couple of them. But we're going to be okay. As soon as we can get those assets rebuilt, we're going to be back in the game with our normal 4 districts, and we'll get back after it with that.
Better than ever. As we know, there's a national lifeguard shortage. What can we say about that, AJ? What are we trying to do about that as far as recruitment?
Well, I think one of the biggest things we're doing is we're trying to get out to the schools, trying to get out to the swim teams. Historically, we normally do 2 classes a summer. We actually had a 3rd class to try and recruit some more employees, and we're just trying to be active on social media and put our brand out there and show everyone how awesome our employees are and how great it is to work here.
And you know, Jack, events like this don't hurt anything. You know, we're getting these kids out there, we're getting them some exposure, and hopefully some of their friends and family members are liking what they're seeing, and they're going to get out there and work for us next year.
Right, as well as the competition for paying jobs with young, able kids. It's tough out there, and we like to build character. We like to build responsibility as well as fitness and responsibility. And I'll tell you what, that goes a long way in the future. Whether they decide on a career path in lifeguarding or public safety or any other career, it really bodes well with them, doesn't it?
It does. You hear it over and over again. No matter what these folks do after this career or after their short time doing this job, they always say the same thing. This is the best job that they ever had. And we've had some really successful people come through here, and they attribute a lot of their success to their time here on the beach.
Right. We had some proclamations this week over at the county, and some of the councilmen got together and proclaimed it Beach Safety Day. It was quite an honor. They put together a video for us, and it's going to go a long way with recruiting as well. And I think them paying tribute to us, even though we go on our jobs without getting those attaboys all the time, because you hardly get to know a victim after you rescue them, right? Right, AJ?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. It's a thankless job. We go in, we save someone when they're in trouble, and we don't take time to talk to them. If they're fine, we let them go, and we go back to our tower and watch the water, make sure everybody else in the area is safe.
Well, you know, here in Volusia County, you don't often have a lot of time to communicate and get to know those victims because you're getting back to your tower because you know there's another rescue coming right behind it. But as Jack said, we were recognized at our county council meeting, and we do appreciate any time we're given some accolades. Most of the time, our staff just goes and does their job, and they're not really expecting that. They do what they do because they love it. But anytime we can get some recognition for them, we like to do that. And the Community Information Department really did an amazing job putting together this video that they played at the county council meeting. And I think we're going to show it here. And it really did a great job capturing what it really feels like to be a lifeguard.
Right. It tugged at our heartstrings. Are we ready to roll that, guys?
For over a century, Volusia County's lifeguards have upheld a legacy of dedication, protecting the millions who cherish our 47 miles of coastline every year. Those who have served are ushered into an elite group of individuals who dedicate a portion of their time on this earth to saving lives and helping those when they need it most. Over the years, things have changed. New techniques, certifications, and equipment have been embraced to stay at the cutting edge. But the dedication and passion of Volusia County lifeguards remain unchanged. The knowledge is passed down to those who have that passion to serve, to save. It's ingrained into the fabric of who they are and who they will always be, protectors. A moment comes when their training is put to the test. Life hangs in the balance. And the difference between survival and death lies with a Volusia County lifeguard. In these moments, time stands still, and their reaction, second nature. After it's all said and done, life is saved, and they return to that tower, not looking for accolades or praise, because it's what they do, who they are. The impact is immeasurable, happening every day, countless times a week, and thousands of times a year, performing more rescues than all other agencies in Florida combined. Today, July 11th, 2023, we gather to honor and proclaim the extraordinary work of Volusia County lifeguards. They embody the courage and selflessness that comes from standing at the juncture where the mighty power of the sea meets the enchanting beauty of our sun-kissed shores. Amidst treacherous currents and lurking dangers, they remain steadfast, protecting lives from the unseen perils that can swiftly consume even the strongest souls.
Wow, that was impressive. That was truly impressive, and if that didn't get to you, I don't know what will. We really appreciate the people over at Community Information, Daryl and Dave and the guys and girls, for putting that all together to us. A total surprise, totally blown away, huh, Andy?
Yeah, you know, as I joked about in council chambers, it wasn't really a joke. I had to watch that a few times to make sure I was desensitized to it, so I didn't, respond or react in the council chambers there. But they knocked it out of the park.
Right. And I'll tell you, we've seen some changes through all this. And Andy, what can you tell us about this? Since last year, we've had some administrative changes as far as the direction we're going and our job description.
We have quite a few changes, actually. You know, for 25 years, we were a triple certified agency handling all of the law enforcement, the lifeguard duties, and emergency medical response on the beach. This year, we're no longer doing the law enforcement. That's okay. That gets us back to our core mission, which has always been the lifeguarding. So we're looking forward to really focusing on that and bringing that protection to the visitors and the citizens of Volusia County beaches.
And with all these rescues we've had, AJ, it's a handful, is it not? I don't see where you had time.
It definitely is. We're on par. We've had some really, really big weekends. I'm talking in the 200s and 300s of people pulled out over a 2 or 3 day weekend. So we've got a lot of people coming to the beach. That's not slowing down. And we've been very, very busy. And it's been a great summer so far. Yeah,
I've noticed, we had a big July 4th weekend. We had some good weather. And then this week I even noticed we have about 5,000 kids here from a religious youth group up and down the beach. It was just littered with kids, teenage kids here. So the guards had their hands full, but not many rescues. The ocean's laid down for us. Nothing like last competition last year. It was 2 to 3 foot surf.
It was a little bit bigger last year, but before we go too much further, talking about changes, we're really excited because we're going to make some uniform changes. We're going to do some updating to our response vehicles, and we're really excited about our new logo. Community Information, not only did they make a great video for us, but their graphic artist over there, Paul, he really knocked it out of the park. He took all of our ideas because, as you know, everyone's got an opinion. So he put all of our opinions together, and there's our new logo.
Wow.
We're really excited about it.
Wow, that's impressive. It's beautiful. It's quite creative, and boy, that's going to make a nice T-shirt. That's sure going to be impressive. So we're going to have about 5 events here, and it should be exciting. It should be close, even though we have 3 teams instead of 4 this year. We've combined Dunlawton with Daytona, but it's really going to be close. We got some bragging going on already. Orman wants to reclaim their winning 3 years ago, and last year Daytona stole it away from New Smyrna in the last event, so it should be fun.
Yeah, I think those of you that watched last year, you're going to have much tighter course of racing. The course is a little bit smaller, a little more compact. So we're gonna have some good racing. They're gonna have to work a little harder this year to win.
Yeah, as you know, normally we're chasing daylight. Today we're kind of pushing the tide because the tide's up. It's on its way out. So we're going to have a little bit of a tighter course. But it always comes down to that last event there typically, which makes it very exciting. And hopefully today we'll get it done in the daylight.
So that's awesome. So before we go any further, I think before we get into our actual competition and we get the competitors to arrive, I think we need to go ahead and take a moment and recognize what a great country we live in, and let's listen to one of our guards' wives, Kitty Rodriguez, give us the national anthem. I think everybody can stand and appreciate what a great country and what great county and how thankful we are to have these jobs in the beach that we have. So if we could, we'll take a moment and listen to the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see?
I couldn't either.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was awesome. AJ, we're going to have cameras, drones, and our own commentator, Tammy Malfers, our public information person here at Beach Safety down on the beach, and she's going to be giving us a play-by-play and hopefully some interviews with some of the competitors. Tammy, are you ready to tell us about identifying the teams and the teams' caps?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're down here, and welcome to the 2023 Interzone competition. We have all the competitors down here. They're warming up. You can feel the energy. You can feel the adrenaline. You can see the nerves. They're warming up out in the water behind me. And we do have the three teams. We have Daytona Dunlawton in the white beanies, and we have Ormond Beach in the orange, and then also New Smyrna Beach will be in the green beanies. And everyone right now is gearing up and getting ready. We do have all the swimmers here, and that will be the first event. We'll be starting to swim very soon.
Thanks, Tammy. We're going to have the inaugural event is going to be the swim race, AJ, and what does that entail?
Yeah, we've got each district picks their potentially best 4 athletes. We're going to line them all up. Everyone's going to swim at one time. They've got about a 400-meter swim around 2 buoys out in the ocean. And it's a race all the way to the finish. It's not long enough for an endurance athlete, but it's not short enough to be a sprint, so it'll be an interesting race. They're all going to come in. We'll line them all up, and each person will get a point for their score, and the lowest total team score will get first place.
Sort of like a cross-country meet or something like that. We've got some new faces. Last year's top swimmer isn't with us anymore. He's moved on to another profession, or he's in college away from here. But we got some new hot faces, both out of Ormond, and we got some people bragging down in New Smyrna, too. So who do you like so far? You got any favorites?
Well, Jack, I don't think it's any secret. Anyone that's been around long enough, New Smyrna is always bragging anytime we race against each other. I'm excited to see. We've got some old favorites, but like you said, we've got some new athletes. We actually have a good cluster of hydro swimmers here. the water's nice for them. It's a little more like a pool, a little bit flatter. So I think we're gonna see some hydro swimmers shine tonight.
So the Hydro Force swimmers are based out of Ormond Beach YMCA, are they not? And it's a club team, and of course they feed some of the local high schools as well. We got 2 girls that are going to be swimming with Ormond that are already notably fastest. And we've got an old timer. We're going to call him that now after 6 years working in Sarasota County. He started here for 8 years. We got Troy Knopp that's really getting back into shape. And he's going to be swimming in the New Smyrna's team. So some of the teams stack for the swim, some stack and hold off for the medley. But it should be interesting. At Daytona, that's going to be a toss-up. We're not really sure who's going to take it there. We got some vets mixed in with some new talent, right?
Yeah, and Jack, I think you bring up a good point. Everyone tries to keep their team secret because you may not want to put your best swimmer on the swim race. You may want to put them on the swim portion for the medley. That's going to give you that extra edge. So if everyone's good at keeping things a secret, then we kind of see how everybody shows and plays their hand out here once we start racing.
Right. It was like pulling teeth to get some of these lineups. I'm not going to let on. I don't have a dog in this race, but and then there were some last-minute switches too, and I don't know what they're thinking, but at the same time, it should be fun. It should be competitive, even though there's only 3 teams. I'm looking at Kim Murphy as a top female as well. She's a school teacher in the Volusia County school system. She finished 4th overall last year in the swim. She'll be on New Smyrna's team again, and I look for her to holding her own, top 5 maybe, and seeing some dark horses coming out of Daytona. Connor Wiles was, I think, 5th last year. He'll be swimming for Daytona again, and then, of course, New Smyrna is Troy Knopp, like I mentioned before, as well as Gavin Brown. So we'll see how it goes. Tammy, are they about ready down there?
Their beanies on, and we're gearing up. It should be just a few minutes before we start that swim.
Good, Tammy. We'll have 4 events plus beach flags, and that's a crowd favorite that's going to close out our competition this afternoon. We'll have both men's and women's 4x100 as the 3rd event. The 2nd event coming up is one of your favorites, AJ, is the paddle race, and that'll be a four-person team, correct?
That's a 4-person relay. The beauty of this is if you go to any U.S. lake competition, we're using 10-6 rescue or life-saving boards. They're built a little different. We use our standard rescue boards here that we use to go pick people up. It's a 4-person relay. You're going to have 2 people on the north end of the course, 2 people on the south. So they are running individually, tagging off each other. So same thing. It's strategy. You're going to put your fastest first and last, and then maybe your slower third, middle second, and we'll see how it plays out.
And they go around a triangle course, right? About how far?
They do. We got an apex. We're sitting about a 500-meter paddle. My estimate, we're probably going to go our faster paddlers maybe 4 or 5 minutes around the course. So it's going to be good. But they got to come through the surf, and they got to sprint up the beach and tag the next competitor. So it adds a little water entry and a little sprinting element to it as well. It's not just paddling.
As opposed to last year's drama, there was a little bit of wave action. And last year, it was a very trying moment for some of them on their entries and exits.
It was definitely a test of your abilities last year. I mean, you're on 10-foot boards that are 24 inches wide, 25 inches wide. That's a lot of volume to deal with. That's a lot of boards. So it definitely tests you if we got a little surf. Today, not so much. We got some good runners out there to play on, but it's definitely be different than last year.
And it gears these young competitors into further competing in a different league when they go on to regionals, if some of them choose to do so, and that's a whole nother league of competitors, is it not?
Yeah, it's definitely one thing to do it internally and showcase your skills with your other fellow employees, but to go on a statewide stage, Florida's got some of the best lifeguards in the nation, and it definitely puts you to the test when you're out there and makes you work a little harder. Or it can be definitely humbling if you don't work as hard as you thought you did.
That's true. That's true. Okay, we're going to take a public service announcement before we get into the meat of these events, and we'll be right back with you.
There's a lot of confusion about this. Beach safety is not going anywhere. We're still there. We're still there to provide an amazing service to the locals and the visitors of Volusia County beaches. And we're still there to manage the beach. Like Deputy Chief Malfer said, the only thing the sheriff's office is doing is they're assuming control of law enforcement. We're still in charge of beach management. We're still in charge of opening and closing the gates, managing the traffic lanes, like Tammy said, the medical calls, lifeguarding, picking up birds, environmental aspect, dealing with the sea turtles. We are still managing the beach. The only portion that is transitioning is the law enforcement.
Hi, what's your name?
Seth Augustinowski.
And what do you do for Volusia County?
So I'm a lifeguard, and I've been a lifeguard for the past 5 years.
And what made you decide to become a lifeguard for Volusia County?
So my dad was actually a long-time lifeguard for 30 plus years.
And what's your favorite part about being a lifeguard?
Probably just having the interactions just like with the area, and then having the connections with all these other guards, getting to do what we love together.
Welcome back, everybody, to Volusia County Beach Safety's 2023 Interzone competition. We're here with A.J. Miller. He's a captain here in the Daytona station. We got a beautiful afternoon for a comp, don't we, Andy?
It's gorgeous out here. We had a storm roll through. It's nice and clear now. The water is beautiful. Tide's on its way out. We're going to get a little more beach to play on, and it's a beautiful night.
It should be fun for the competitors. Again, we were waiting for some of the arrivals from our new Smyrna zone. It's been a long day for them. 9:15 every day. They're competing in their own right at drill every day.
Yeah, most of the guards that are competing today have worked out already this morning. Like you said, during morning drill, racing against each other for 30 minutes this morning. So.
And it's not only fitness that we're trying to drill into them in the morning. We're giving them morning announcements about what to expect throughout the day, what problems that may arise, and also more or less just letting them know that what could happen, and giving them the notice that they're responsible for their area the whole day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people look at lifeguards and they see them what it looks like basking in the sun and catching a tan, but they're alert, they're aware, they know what's going on in their water, and they have to be ready and prepared to act at a moment's notice at any time when they're on the beach. Even when they're running on their lunch break, they're paddling, they're still working.
Right. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy summer, and this is going to be a fun time for them. And we use this a little bit for recruiting purposes too. So it should prove interesting this year to see who's going to come out on top. And last year, of course, Daytona eked it out over New Smyrna. So this year, Orman is saying they're going to win. Everybody's bragging. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this swim. We've got my money's on Orman right now. We got a strong team coming out of Orman. We got two sisters, the Cassidys, and two hydro swimmers, Nailani and Kinsey O'Keefe.
Okay, we're ready. We're going to start. We got a camera at the starting line. They're going to be in the hands of the starter for the swim race. So they're off into the surf now. We've identified them as Tammy Malfers told us. The green is Orman, right? And what else we have?
We've got orange is Orman, white is Daytona, and we've got the lime green is New Smyrna. And if
Okay.
you're watching right
Okay.
now, we've got a long shelf that they have to traverse over, so it's not just a swim. It's a lot of water entry on this. You'll see a lot of them porpoise dive and high step. Just our front runners are still just now starting to swim.
So the taller competitors sometimes have an advantage in this kind of surf condition going over that bar.
They do, especially going out if the slough or that water's a little deeper, they may be able to porpoise dive across. Especially we'll talk about it in a little bit. Coming in, they're going to be standing up faster and they're going to be able to run in quicker.
Right, right. We have our safety out there on one of our personal watercraft. That is another tool, an advanced tool that has really come in handy this summer. He'll be watching and maintaining the course for those competitors, and also making sure nobody gets hurt out there. There is collisions when there's a lot of people competing in one small space, right?
There definitely are. If you look at the right side of your screen, what you're going to see is a pack right here. They'll start dropping in behind each other. What everybody's doing right now is they're racing to that first buoy. They want to make it to that first buoy so they can get the tighter turn. We've got some front leaders out front, and you'll see, like I said, you'll watch those first two people. They're here going to tuck in. We've got a New Smyrna athlete in Daytona, and they'll tuck in here a second on this first turn, and they'll start drafting each other and see what they can work out of it.
I have a feeling the green cap from New Smyrna is Troy Knopp. He was the one that was bragging. He's the vet. He's gotten in shape. I just spoke to him on the phone earlier today. He said he's gotten better and better in shape in the last 6 weeks. Been training by himself secretly, top secret, in a pool as well as the ocean. So he says he's going to beat the girls from Ormond.
So I can tell you right now, looking at him, I've known and raced Troy for a long time. He's got that wide right arm stroke. That's Troy right there leading in front from New Smyrna.
He went to New Smyrna High School in his rookie year. I had him, and he graduated and swam at Daytona State College for a year or two before they dissolved their swim program. We had quite a few athletes out of Daytona State, which was a nice recruiting feeder for us. Unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. But Troy went over to Sarasota County, worked there for 6 years, got a couple little girls now, came back home to where his parents can help babysit with him, and he's now rededicated himself to the world of life saving and competition.
He did. He's not just a swimmer. He can paddle. He can sprint. His water entries are phenomenal. But if you look right behind him, right on his heels, you've got, I'm going to guess, Liam Barrett and Connor Wiles, both out of Daytona. And what I'll bet is this last turn, you're going to see them starting to track him down. And if I had to put up money on it, I'm going to guess that's two of our hydro girls, probably Nailani or probably Mackenzie O'Keefe right behind them coming up on that turn.
Right, and to get around Connor Wiles and Liam Barrett is going to be a task because they're both way over 6 foot tall. They got wingspans. They're both organized swimmers as well. They're a little bit older, got a little bit more experience than the ladies coming out of Hydra 4. They're probably putting in the yardage, but they just don't have the ocean experience quite yet, and the size differential is in the boys' favor, I think.
Well, and if you watch, we talked about it before, Troy being an all-around athlete. He's got an amazing kick, and he's going to start cranking it up here on the way in because he knows he still has to run up the beach. So what he's going to do, he's going to start kicking as hard as he can, get that blood out of his arms back into his legs so he doesn't have those wobbly knees when he gets up and sprints up the beach.
Right. So that is part of the competition, is the exit. Tammy, what do you have for us down there? Anything?
We just happen to have the Daytona District 2's Medley team here, not the whole Medley team, but we got 3 of them here. So we want to just talk to them for a little bit and see how they're feeling. All right, guys, how did you train for this today?
I didn't train that much, I'm going to be honest, but I think I'm pretty seasonal in the water, and I think if I wing it, I'll be fast enough, so we're going to see how it goes. I'm pretty confident.
Okay. How do you feel right now?
I feel great. I feel pumped, and I feel like I'm going to do really well.
Are you guys nervous?
I'm a little bit nervous, but District 3 won last year, and I'm picturing the same thing this year.
So you guys are expecting to win this?
Obviously.
Absolutely.
Of course.
As you can see here, folks, District 3 is expecting to win this again, so we'll see.
That's going to be a strong team. They've stacked their medley. Thank you, Tammy. And looks like the girls that were in 4th and 5th place out of the Ormond zone reeling in the boys out there coming down to the beach.
Yeah, if you look, we're all standing up. Troy's standing up. He's still holding the lead. I'm going to guess that's Kinsey O'Keefe next to him. That's Kinsey O'Keefe. And you got Nailani, and I'm going to guess probably Liam B. Hare on that wave catching up to them right behind them. There goes Troy right there with that beautiful finish.
Troy has a high step. He's looking over his shoulder. So as soon as he gets into where he can put some speed on the land, he's got him beat. They can't catch him. He's got the height advantage hopping those waves coming out of the surf.
And then here's Kinsey O'Keefe coming in second.
impressive.
Looks like Connor Wiles running up the beach. And then Nailani taking one last look over her side before she finishes the cross line. There's Liam Barrett coming in from Daytona.
So we're spreading out the talent pretty evenly so far. We had a New Smyrna guy take first place, and then in comes the Daytona, and then comes, in comes the Orme ladies.
If you look, Ormond got second, third, and I just saw Connery Cassidy coming across fifth. So their points are looking good so far.
Yeah, and as predicted by their sergeant up there, Derek Taylor, he said he had a grin on his face yesterday afternoon. Here's another green.
Brooklyn Call racing for Daytona. Kira Stone right behind her.
I didn't see Kim Murphy. We must have missed her when we went to camera change there. But Kim Murphy is also some talent. She knows how to swim in the ocean, too. She's a tall lady. So that was exciting. It's going to be close. It's going to be close because we have the paddle coming up, AJ.
That's it. And this is usually, like you said before, this is one of my favorite events. We're lifeguards, we surf, we paddle. This is what a lot of the guys and girls look forward to is showing their skills on these boards. And they're not as easy as you think. They're very wide.
Tammy, what do you have for us with some of those finishers?
All right, well, we have the first place winner right here, the one swimmer that came in first place, Troy Knopp. Troy Knopp is a seasoned guard, and we'll talk to him. How do you feel?
Tired.
Troy's been with us for how many years now?
16 years as a lifeguard, yeah.
Okay, you're a little bit older than some of these guards out here, so am I. But what made you get back into this and really get competitive again?
So all these kids are very young, they're like half my age, but they're all very fast and very talented at what they do. So I knew I had to put in extra work this year, so that's what I did. I came prepared.
Great job, Troy. You did awesome.
Just as Troy Knopp predicted to me a little bit earlier today, he said he was gonna take it, and he did. He showed his experience, and his training has paid off. AJ.
Well, that's another thing. He's got the age, he's got the experience. Tammy, if you're still near him, tell him I need a swimmer for my board rescue next week for regionals. So I'll be giving him a call.
I think he walked off to rest a little bit, but I'll let him know.
Thanks, Tammy. Getting back to the paddle relay, which is next, they're going to get their equipment together and get them ready. Those paddle boards, they're not just surfboards. They're an implement that is essential in life-saving, right?
Yeah, they really are. They're built a little bit bigger, a little longer, a little wider. They've got 6 handles on them. They're used to traverse the surf. They're one of the fastest, aside from the jet ski, one of the fastest pieces of equipment we have. And they're built to put 2 people on. So you can roll somebody on them, get them in. You can put 6 or 7 people on them to wait till backup comes, holding on to those handles. They're made to be out here for rescues.
And sustain them. Now, we talked about the Apex course. It's going to be a variation of what the swimmers just did. We're going to add a little distance to it and do a little burning down the house, sort of, as we used to say. It's going to look like a little rooftop type course, right?
It is. It's a little technical. They're going to have 3 buoys, 3 turns to go around. What you're going to see, if you look behind us, we do have a little bit of chop on the water, so we'll see. Someone may get lucky and get a little runner out there, and you'll see a lot of them working those waves on the way in, and should be interesting.
So this is a relay. This isn't everybody at once. That was the last event we're going to see everybody at once. This is going to be a relay. The 1 and the 3 meet up with the 2 and the 4, and they hand off the paddle boards with a handler, right?
Yep. So what you'll see is each athlete, the team will go one at a time. You're going to see them come around the course. You'll see them bail off the board, sprint up to the shoreline, tag their partner while you have a handler out in the water turning the board for the next athlete to come out and start the next leg of the race.
Right. Now, as opposed to just belly paddling, as most people would say it, they move back and forth with this kind of surf as opposed to last year. Last year kind of prevented them from getting up on their knees and getting some more sustained speed. How's that going to work today?
Yeah, you'll see, depending on their abilities. A lot of guys will just, like you said, stay prone, stay on their bellies. But you'll see quite a few of them get up to their knees. When you're prone, you have a little more consistent speed. But when you're up on your knees, you have more power. So a lot of them you'll see probably coming in, they'll get up on their knees and they'll try and dig that extra power to get those little runners coming in.
Now also, does that give some muscle groups a little bit of variation as far as rest and then implement more of a leg power in the kneeling?
Yeah, Most of it's the same, but when you transition from prone to knee, you're using some different accessory muscles. So you may not realize it, but it does. It gives your body a little bit of a break. It may not feel like it because they're going to be grinding out in that water, but it definitely gives you a little bit of a break. You paddle till your legs burn, lay back down, and you'll also see them kick. It's similar to when you sprint on the beach. You're not going to put your arms to your side. You're going to be pumping your arms. They're going to do the same thing on the boards. You'll see them kicking their legs. It's going to give them a little extra power, a little more drive.
Yeah, I've seen that from up here. You can see them kind of kicking their legs back and forth. It almost looks like they're just trying to balance themselves as if they were in a running motion. They're kind of it's kind of choreographed with their arm motions, but nevertheless, I've seen them switch back and forth using their different muscle groups. You're burning one set of muscles up, and then you go to another set of auxiliary muscles, like you said, to change up the speed. And being in this flat today, it's going to allow them to do that, right?
It will, and another thing you're going to see, another tactic, is when they drop that board for the transition, where their handler is going to put the board. Some may like it a little shallower. Some may like it a little bit deeper. If you go too deep, you're going to lose your momentum when you jump on that board. So it'll be interesting to see if they worked with each other and talked where they want to put that board at.
Wow. I see. Tammy, are they about ready to line up, or do you know?
Yeah, they're down here. They're getting ready. It looks like we're going to be ready to go in just a minute here.
Okay.
I think we got all of our competitors.
Okay, great. And we'll still go with the same color-coded beanies. They've switched beanies. If there wasn't enough, we're going to be able to identify them just as well as soon as the drone gets out over them.
Yep. Just if you guys want to remember your teams, you've got Ormond in orange, Daytona in white, and New Smyrna in neon green. It'll be a little easier to spot because it'll be on top of the water this time.
Now, we'll probably be able to get an update on the scores intermittently as Tammy and a camera can get over to the scoring board, and they'll give us an updated account of how the points were accrued after the first event, and then so on throughout the evening. It always ends up coming down to beach flags, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'll go back and forth, but it really comes down to flags, depending on how far your team makes it. Because with flags, we'll talk about it later, you only score as far as your highest athlete. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how it pans out at the end of the night.
Can't wait. And that's the most exciting one to watch. I know in years past when we hosted Nationals here and we hosted Worlds here, by the way, and we'll talk about that in a minute, we had it up at the boardwalk under the lights on the volleyball court, and it was so exciting with the rock music. It was almost like a professional wrestling format, but it was beach flags, and it was just an overwhelming finish to the competition. So it's going to be fun to see it tonight.
Yeah, it definitely will. Here we go. We got the score. So look at that. District 2 Ormond Beach got first place. They're currently holding 10 points. Daytona 8 points, and District 4 New Smyrna has 6. So that panned out pretty well.
Wow. So depth won over having the number one finisher.
Yeah,
number one finisher of New Smyrna.
You can see that. So that's the beauty of it. You may have the fastest swimmer, but if collectively your team is faster, you're going to score lower, so you're going to get a higher ranking.
So I see those handles on those paddle boards. What are they for? Can you explain that to me, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, granted, yes, we surf on them, but we got to know the water. But we use these to rescue people out of the ocean. So every one of those is a spot for someone that you getting out of the water to grab onto. We've got certain special techniques that we can flip people on that board, and that's an extra handhold to make sure they're safe coming in on that board. And more often, the back ones, if you're coming in through the surf with somebody, a bather on the board, you're going to be sliding back to grab those back handles to level out the board to make sure they stay safe going in.
So you could promptly put somebody up on that board that's never even been on a surfboard before in the middle of America, and they would know what to do with your instruction and hang on.
That's the beauty of it. They're nice and wide. They got a lot of float to them, and hey, roll on, grab the handles, and hold on, and then we do everything else for them.
They're nice. They're soft, so they're forgivable to an extent.
Very forgiving, yes.
And they're durable, and every truck in Volusia County's Beach Safety Division is equipped with one of those, as well as several other implements for first aid, right?
Yep, and every truck's got one. We have extra ones at the station. And like I said, we train on them constantly just so we know how the waves work, how the board works.
I think they're all ready for the paddle.
We can be better prepared to save people out here.
Okay, I think we're ready to start the paddle, Tammy. You got the teams lined up. We'll see how the first leg goes. So they're getting instructions, I think, pre-race instructions, and I want to do a shout-out to our team down on the beach with Deputy Chief Tammy Malfers. We got retiree Scott Peterson. And we've got the national team coach, Tom McGibney, giving instructions to the paddlers. Of course, Tom is one of our 30-year veterans. I think we're close, if not at 30.
Yeah, he's hitting 30. There's a lot of experience just between the two of them. I've grew up and learned from both of them. I used to race with Scott, race with Tom. Tom was my swim coach in high school. Scott pretty much taught me everything I know out here. It's my first year up here. I set the course. I'm normally setting the course. I learned it all for Scott. And one of the cool things now, he's retired. He comes and works for me and runs races with me.
Isn't that great? You can tell him what to do now. But all that mentoring has paid off, and hopefully it gets handed down to the next group that's going to follow in our footsteps. But somebody's got to be the worker bees, and then somebody's got to compete, and it's always a tough balance, because some of the people that are actually the worker bees running the competition are bona fide competitors in their age groups at least. And I know, as well as Tom and Scott and Aaron Jenkins, who are deputy chief, they're all very able-bodied competitors.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, but to be able to pass down that information and give the new generation, I'm aging myself now. I don't feel that old, but compared to these 16, 17-year-old kids, I'm almost 40. This is the new generation of our beach, and to give them the knowledge and allow them to shine in situations like this is an incredible thing.
Yeah, and then giving them the opportunity to participate. A lot of them this is their first timers this week, and so it should be fun. So we've split the teams. The 1s and the 3s of each team are on one end of the course. The 2s and the 4s are on the other end of the course.
Yeah, so you'll see on the north side of the course, our odd numbers, 1 and 3. We'll start on the north side of the course. The beauty is they'll go back and forth. Our fourth paddler, our anchor, will finish on the north side of the course as well. And this is where strategy comes into play. You got to figure out where you want to put people as far as how strong your paddlers are within your relay, that 4-person team. Here we go.
Here we go. Some will drag the board, some will carry.
Yeah, it's a strategic move. You guys see there's a bunny hop. We've already got a couple on the board now. See, now we got Jacob Barr from Daytona. He's back off the board, hopping through. He's already pulling ahead a little bit on this entry. But let's see, I think we got Hunter Sweat right behind him.
So that's going to be a bunny hop. That's a technique, slang for pushing the board along.
It is, and if you look, we talked about it, all three of them went straight to their knees, so we'll see how that plays off for them. Same thing, just as swim. This is a race to that first buoy. We're going to see who gets in, and my money would bet Jacob's on the outside, but you've got Hunter and Baker both on the inside. They're going to try and race to that first buoy and pinch him out, causing a wider turn, so they can push forward and get that lead on him.
We got one on the outside already gone down to the prone position. Typically, I see that at the turn. I see going down to the knees to navigate the tight turn, staying on prone for a section or so, and then up on the knees they go again.
Yeah, and what you'll probably see coming around that apex, when they're coming back in, they're going to start picking up those runners, especially our second and fourth paddler. They're probably going to be more prone to kind of, like I said, get that consistent paddle to try and get a little more strength. So here's the turn. Now let's see, we got 2 on our knees, now 3 on our knees. Let's see what they're going to do on this turn.
This is
down.
This is as close as you can get.
This is going to be beautiful. I'm hoping it's like this the entire time. But let's see if these guys got it, because they cranked it on the way out. They put a lot of effort into this so far. So you'll probably start seeing them alternating between knee and prone more to try and, like you said, try and give those muscles a break.
Are they talking to each other trash? Are they talking trash out there?
Oh, you know it right now. They definitely are. It may slow down when they get tired towards the end, but right now they're both barking at all of each other.
And no interference, no grabbing the tail fin of somebody else's board, right?
Now, race clean, race true, and we got a good race so far leading off. You see Barb starting to fade a little bit. Like I said, that's a hard entry, especially with how long they have to run and bunny hop with that board. Now we're making our right turn on our apex, and Daytona or Ormond and New Smyrna are neck and neck right now. But we still have 3 more athletes for each race or each team to go. See how they're going to do.
Yeah, you do, and you can see the Ormond's in the green. No, the New Smyrna guard. I'm sorry, the New Smyrna guard. When he was down in the prone position, you could see his legs kicking back and forth. It's virtually kicking in midair, but it provides balance to them, balance and cadence, I guess.
Oh, definitely. You've got, let trying to see who that is. It may be Morgan Donaldson, if I'm looking right, or it's Destin Charlo. I'm not really sure at this point.
Yeah, they may have left Destin Charlo to be in the sandbagging him to the last leg of it, but I can't really tell right now. It could be, though.
Most teams, you're going to run your fastest competitors, your first leg, your leadoff, and then your anchor to bring it home.
Right. And last year, Liam Barrett was on that team. This year, he's been recruited, and he's working up in Daytona, right?
Yeah, and you'll see throughout the years, if you guys keep watching, you're going to see a change in athletes for each event because every year we've got newer, faster people coming up. So I'll go back to the swim real quick. My hat's off to Troy Knott, being his age and still holding on and being the lead guy on that team for the swim. So we got a little bump coming in. Let's see if they'll be able to take advantage of that. You got a set rolling through, so let's see what they're going to do.
Just a little bit, and I think that is Hunter Sweat in the orange hat.
And I've recognized that mustache. That's Destin Charlo.
That's Destin Charlo.
Yeah.
He's a talent. He's developed himself with some hard training with some of our veteran competitors, right?
He did. He trained with me a couple years ago. He's been training with April O'Gorman, and more recently last year he started getting into doing triathlons. So he's kind of branching out from surf lifesaving and doing a little more endurance stuff.
So it's his 5th year at UCF. Apparently he's pre-med, going to be a dentist. Impressive.
Now, if you look here, they both caught that wave from Ormond and Daytona. You'll see him ditch the board here in a second. Destin's going to take it a little bit further and take advantage of the power of that wave. And now his handler's going to chase after his board to turn it around. Yep, there's Destin Charlo coming in, thought with the high knees and the high step. He's going to tag off.
Yeah, that high step and finish was you could tell he's been training lately.
So we'll see if you look right now. So look at the different tactics. New Smyrna is a little shallower. Ormond put their board a little bit further out. Let's see if that's going to pay off.
We'll see. That prevented him from bunny hopping himself. So whether that's an advantage or not, I don't know yet.
Those starts are all about momentum. As soon as you start losing speed, you got to get on that board and go. But something tells me Ormond's going to make up a little ground right here. Look at that. Look at the power in that stroke. He's driving through that water.
And again, you can see the leg kick on the prone position. He's going at it. He's digging, but now his closest competitor is up on his knees and digging into a draft position.
You're right. You'll see him tuck in. If he's smart, he'll tuck in for a little bit, and he'll try and make the pass. Maybe on that apex. He'll ride his wash for a little bit. Try and let the New Smyrna athlete do the work, and then he'll make his move on the way in, try and catch some of those runners.
So we have a couple veterans, a couple full-time guys out there, a little older, if we can say that again, Troy Knott, but we have Travis Tingler and Sean Melhorn, also known as the Aquaholic, up there on Ormond's paddle team. I'm not really sure which one it is. It might be Luis Barros, though, as well.
So I'm going to – that looks like Sean right there in second place for Ormond. Sean Melhorn, he's one of what I like to call one of our lifers. He's our full-time staff. Started here as a lifeguard when he was 16, and he's here he's along for the ride. He's going to ride it out and see where this takes him.
So, yeah, he's tucked into a nice draft right there, whether it's advantageous or not. That guard leading the way has no idea how close or where he is. He's just running. He's running for his life to that apex buoy right now.
Well, right now, Sean's conserving energy. Look, see, we're coming to that apex. Sean should start making a move here. Let's see if he can overtake him.
Indeed he is.
Look, he's already closing the gap. He's going to sit up, make that turn around that buoy. And he took the inside path. Now he's made the move. Now he's moving up in front.
Back up to the knees. Now they're searching for a little runner, just a little bump, little momentum to help them. They're getting tired right about now, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. And what you'll see with this win we have tonight, they're going to have a little more runners, that second and fourth athletes. Going to get a little more running with that side chop that's coming across with the swell direction. We've got Daytona in the back trying to make up ground, but we still have two more athletes for each team, so this isn't over yet.
No, there's definitely going to be some weaknesses and some strengths within the four on each team, and it just depends on how you stacked them and how you looked at who you're going to go against. Daytona still has some workhorses that I fully expect to close the gap.
Oh, absolutely, and I can tell you from experience, I've been racing for 21 years for lifeguard races, and they're not on these boards. And these boards are not hard. They're not easy to paddle. They are not the fastest board for racing. They're perfect, ideal for rescues. But I can tell you right now, these guys are working out there right now.
No knee wells, no
knee
high
wells.
composite, no fancy fiberglass, no super lightweight.
Now let's see if they get lucky like the first leg did, and see if they can pick up a little swell coming in. I don't see anything off the back yet, but here's the beauty of races like this, open ocean. Daytona's trying to make up ground right now. They may pick up a swell off the back that's going to move them up closer to our first and second place right now.
Right. Be that as it may, there's no giant swells that will, A, completely separate you from the field, and B, cause you to wipe out and lose your equipment.
Yeah, this flatter water is an absolute grind. They're going to get a little help from the surf, but not much. You can see they got a little bump. Let's see if they can dig hard to get into it.
It's just not carrying them. They're looking over their shoulder every chance they get.
They're looking over and praying a wave's coming, because I know those boys are tired. They're working
They're both
hard.
on prone position now, tired.
Now let's see. You've got the handlers right here. Let's see if they're going to ride it in. Sean took a nice little dive off the front and try and continue on that wave, and he did with the body surfing. Now, he just gained an extra 4 or 5 meters on the second-place team.
Had they caught a wave, they may have outrun their safeties, right, their board handlers?
Oh, I definitely think so. We saw it in the first one. Destin took that wave a little further in. His handler had to run in to grab their board. So that's a big thing. It's all about communication. Just because you're not racing, if you're a handler, you got to know what you're doing. You got to be ready for it, even as far as just what side of the board to stand on, because you got to see where they're going to come in.
Right. I would be communicating with my handler right after this transition, what that game plan we just spoke to. If they see them getting some momentum behind them coming into the beach, I would back myself off so the board isn't just left afloat while they go to the finish line, right?
Correct. I mean, if it was me, I'd come in a little shallower. You made up ground. Orman took that little bit of a lead. But now you see New Smyrna, if you guys watched his water entry, his high step was incredible. That 3 or 4 meters that Sean made up catching or body surfing,
It evaporated.
That New Smyrna guard just ran right past him.
Here comes Daytona. They're still in it. Be interesting to see who jumps on the board there. It looks like it might be the Lincoln Hoker talent. His dad was also a guard here. And Elijah is a surfer, and we like those. They're watermen. When they come to us, they're already adept to some of the ocean's characteristics. So they're always a step ahead if they're already coming out of here as watermen as opposed to a pool swimmer, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I love seeing this, Jack. He's one of our new guards. We have a lot of new athletes this year, which is great to see because we get tired of racing against the same old people every year. So every time we get new people, we're thrilled.
Well, we're forced to, anyway, recruit and repeat. We have to replenish our workers seasonally anyway. Not entirely, but still there's going to be a 30%, 35% replenishment rate anyway because a lot of these employees, they're not career.
No, we get about 4 to 6 years out of a part-time employee. They start when they're 16. We get them through high school. They'll come back in the summers through college, and then by then they usually go on to their professional career. Some of them stay, which I love to see, but a lot of them will go on and do bigger and better things, and they can attribute the base of being a lifeguard to that success.
So what we have on staff here is part-time guards. Some of the people that do continue to come back summer after summer, they're working in the community at other jobs, but those jobs afford them to come back, such as what, firefighters, teachers?
Yeah, we have a lot of firefighters that come on their off-time work for us. We have a lot of teachers that work in the school year shaping young minds, and then come out here in the summer and they save lives.
Right. It's just they've always got a job here. Is all they do is when they come back, we requalify them in certain things where they may have been expired in CPR or habitat conservation protection plans. And also everybody has to swim their 500 every year.
Every single year. Full-timers do it twice
a year.
But every year they have to swim their 500-meter swim another 10 minutes, and that's a United States Life Saving Association standard. That's across the board nationwide. At a minimum, every open water lifeguard has to make that swim every year.
Right, and that's for our own good. You know, we have to maintain a certain standard for physical fitness, And you can't just say, well, I used to be a swimmer. You have to stay at it. And there's nothing wrong with that. The fitness regimen that swimming offers is nothing short of fantastic for even people my age, for goodness sakes.
Oh, Jack, I see you still out there. You're still cranking out there.
And that's a message we can send to some of our alumni out there. Hey, it's never too late to come out and swim your 500 and come sit at tower for a little while. We need the help.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Look how close this is again. We're seeing some fatigue set in. Look, he put his nose on the tail of that other guy's board.
He's going to draft a little bit. He may have enough energy to make the move, or you may see our Orman paddlers start to pull away a little bit. But
look at the double arm paddle is a indication of fatigue and the.
But here's where they're digging deep.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If we're going out on a rescue, we're not giving up. So
no.
This is where you dig deep. You learn what you got.
Right. They know there's another teammate
waiting for them.
And I don't know if they know that drone's over their shoulder, but I know that drone's over their shoulder, and I'm going to let them know about it when I see them downstairs a little later on.
I can
after
tell you
this.
who is going to know is Max is coming up. Max Gallen's probably going to be the anchor for the Daytona team, so he's going to have some ground to make up, though. We've got Orman and New Smyrna still pacing out front.
And I spoke to Max right before the competition. He was contemplating scratching the event because one of the guards that hasn't competed but was doing well in their training wanted to. And Max was on duty at the time. He's got some obligations out here on the beach as well. We still got a beach that's in operation out here right now. We have to get cars off the beach. We have other bathers. These bathers don't go home when we go home. So Max said he may pass the baton on to a younger, less experienced guard and give him the opportunity.
We're a family here, and those are the great things I like to hear. And like you said, we still have a beach to run. We still have employees working the beach right now till 8:30 tonight, making sure the beach gets closed, cars get off, people are safe. We're still patrolling the waters. Now look at this lead Orman just took off through that water exit.
Now there's a tired paddler. Barely, he can't get his high step coming out of the surf.
So now that looks like that's Travis Tingler coming out from Orman. He's one of our original watermen. He's from my generation. I started working with his brother. And you're going to see something special here. He's an athlete. Grew up in the water, grew up around the water. He was in the Navy for quite a while. And he's going to dig in and push out.
He's given the opportunity. He hasn't competed in Interzone in a while. But his sergeants, Mark Rodriguez and Derek, they've been pushing the whole team to get involved this summer.
So we've got... Look at the difference now. Daytona made some ground. We didn't see that on camera. Look at this. That's going to be most likely Baker Pintiaro really trying to crank it down. See if he can at least get them a second. This is where you're going to put your fastest paddler. And I can tell you right now, they are pushing hard to catch up to Travis.
Yes. Baker is a speed freak when it comes to paddling. That is him in third place in the white cap. But I have a feeling it's not going to stay that way very long.
No, let's see what happens. I think he's gonna. We talked about it before. He's plugged in. He's drafting. He's riding New Smyrna's wash right now, and I bet he'll hold that because right now they're starting to make a little ground on Travis. I bet you'll see them make their move around that apex, that purple flag.
That'll be interesting. They're both down still in the prone position. They haven't. Now they're going to hop on the turn. They're going to hop to their knees and start digging. They've got a target, and the target is on Travis Tingler's back.
It is. There's a lot of power in that stroke up on your knees. Let's see if it pays off for them. They're still combating a little bit of chop right now. But the benefit, let's see what happens. When we talk open water racing, Travis is going to make that turn first. He's going in the direction of the swell. He may be able to pull away even a little bit more.
He may. Do we have Tammy down on the beach right now, guys? Do we have her with any of the paddlers already?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting down here right now. It's a crazy competition. Right now we're going to talk to the women's 4x100 relay team from District 3. We happen to get them all together here, so we're going to talk to them. What have you all done to prepare for this today?
We've done it in drill a lot. Lots of sprints.
Yeah, we do it in drill throughout the week, and that's how we formed this team. We have runoffs, and we just compete against each other to see who's the fastest of the district.
How do you feel like you're going to do out here today?
I think we have a really good shot. we won last year, so hopefully we'll keep that title. But these girls are fast, and they're all great. So
See, you heard it from them. They won last year, and they plan on winning again this year.
Fantastic. Grace Schurman and Emma Pinciero, they didn't speak right then, but they were 2 of the 4 on that relay. And right now, Emma's brother is Baker Pinciero, and he's out on the course right now, scratching out with that white cap on, trying to make up some.
He's trying to do his best to make up that ground. Let's see if it pays off for him if we can get back to that drone and see where they're coming in. They should be around that apex buoy right now. Let's take a look.
Fun fact is we got several sets of siblings that work for us, which is ideal. One phone call to the house can get both guards in. The Pincero family have 4, 2 girls and 2 boys that all 4 are here today, and all 4 of them may see. We got Baker, we got Hunter, and Emma. All 4 of them work for us, and they're both all fantastic employees.
Oh, they're a great family. That's one of the things we love to see. That's why I started. My brother was a lifeguard before I was. And that's one of the things we see a lot of is this lineage. And my brother and my sister did it. My dad did it. I've got guards working for me now. I came up racing with their parents. So it's really cool to see. There's Travis trying to catch a little wave. He's still holding that ground up front, doing great.
Yeah, he's stretched out his lead a little bit.
And then we look, Daytona. All right, so Baker's made that little pass on New Smyrna. Let's see if he can pick anything up. Travis is going to get a little wave here and kind of ride in easy. And let's see, it's going to be a battle for second, third right now. Baker's starting to pull away a little bit.
That was a welcome little bump ride for Travis. I bet he was glad he got that little push.
He was definitely happy he had
down
that.
He goes.
And here he comes.
He will not be ready for an interview after the finish line.
Look at that finish, though. Beautiful. All right, let's see what second and third are doing.
Okay, I think we're going to go down to Tammy and see if she can get a word from the winning relay team in the paddle race.
All right, we got the winning team here. They were phenomenal. They did an awesome job. What do you guys think?
Well, we should have squad, so we have to show out for Orman. Our round is tough. The back one way
Baker took it. Baker got him.
You guys did great, but I do have one question from Hunter's dad, Kevin. He wanted to know why he can paddle faster than you.
He can't. He thinks he can, but he can't. Tell him to come race me then.
You guys did a great job. Awesome. Great job, Orman.
Congratulations, Orman. That was a close race for second and third. We really don't know who won yet. Hunter Sweat, if anybody doesn't know yet, his dad was the chief here. He was a beach director, Kevin Sweat, for years, and he really he really encouraged fitness throughout the ranks. He boasted a lot of competition teams where he traveled all over the world. Italy, we went to the Far East one year, and Kevin has got his son here. We got a lot of sons and daughters that work for us, just like AJ's. The lineage runs deep here, and it is so invaluable when we get to experienced employees. They already know what we expect out of them once we get them here.
Yeah, it's nice. Kevin Sweat, Hunter's dad, was a big proponent of competition, and Hunter's done it kind of the right way. I like to see he came up as a junior lifeguard. Loved what he saw, started working when he was 16, went away to college, played football and played soccer at Stetson. And now he's back. He came on full-time with us this year, and he's going to hopefully make a career out of it. And he's, just like his dad, he's a wonderful individual. And Hunter's the type of person we want working out here, just a kind soul and a hard worker.
Right. And he's been away at school a lot. He first got a scholarship up in North Carolina with soccer after his state championship at Seabreeze High School. And then he moved back closer to home, got on with Stetson, and now he's graduated from Stetson. Now he's already getting into probably a criminal justice degree on top of everything, and now he's going to come work for us too. So hopefully now we can get him dialed in, get him a nice paddleboard, or take his dad's out of mothballs.
He bought one last year. He's been training with us. Yeah, his next step right now, he's full-time. He's going to go to EMT school.
Great.
So he can better take care of the visitors to Volusia County beaches.
Great. So he's got the fever, and he's going to be a good acquirement for us. And like I said, there's several of our employees that have gone back to college, and then they've returned to us. And we've got a lot of college-educated employees here. They're smart people. This isn't just some dumb buoy head job anymore. These kids are bright, and they've chosen this career path for the time being. And my hat's off to them.
Yeah, there's a lot of college degrees sitting out there on those towers.
They're smart. Let's see what we got coming up with the run relay, AJ. What's the description here?
So
this is going to be a fast one.
This is going to be a fast one. Hang on to your hats. It's going to run quick. We've got the women running first. They've got teams of 4. And they're going to line up on the cones. They're going to be carrying one of our rescue buoys. They're going to race down 50 meters. They'll make a left shoulder turn around a green cone and then race 30 minutes back. Let's take a minute to appreciate
those uniforms.
Henry Fulton's wonderful uniform, his leopard print Speedo there. But they'll run down 50 meters, left shoulder turn, run back 50 meters, pass off that buoy, and they're going to do 4 times. And it's I got to tell you, it's going to be fast.
It's
one of my
fast.
favorites.
It's going to be fast. Daytona won last year. There was a fall. I do believe it was in the women's. I'm not sure. No, it might have been in the men's. It's soft sand. It's not smooth footing.
So you've got quite a few things. Like you said, you got the soft sand. You've got the turn. You cannot knock over that green buoy or that green cone when you make the turn. But also one of the hardest things, you're running full speed. You've got to pass that buoy off to the next athlete. So that's a tricky one right there. They got to be ready to take that buoy. It definitely seems. How hard is it to give a buoy to somebody? But when you're running full speed, it's going to be interesting. There's usually some times where they run past holding that buoy where they got to turn around and grab it.
And they can't trip. They can't trip over the rope. Hopefully the rope is bound around the buoy so it doesn't come unfurled. And I was looking at Daytona's relay team, and it's a repeat champion team. Grace Schuerman, she's been working juniors this year. She's been with us for at least 4 summers now. She suffered some injuries a couple of weeks ago on one of our rescue skis, and got a little bit of a shiner and got a little bit of a rock to her noggin, if you will. But she's back. I saw her this week. She's back. She feels great. She's in shape. There's no question about that. But we were worried about her injuries, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But people get hurt out here.
Oh, they do. She's trying to stay safe, but it happens. Let's look at the leaderboard. Help me out here with this, Jack. I don't remember who was second and third this last round, but I don't believe anything's changed right now. I think Orman's still holding. Daytona and New Smyrna's got third place right now.
I think Baker Pincero eked out a second place. I didn't get the results. Tammy will be able to tell us that as far as who won, but I think that's what happened. So we got 4 points separating each team. So it's not insurmountable yet because we have 3 toss-up events and the medley.
We do, and I'm looking at this women's 4x100 for each district, and we've got some fast people. We've got some fast teams. Julie Barrett, New Smyrna, was, second in beach flags last year? So
right.
This is going to be fast. They're going to be running quick. This is going to be a good race.
And Orman has Jess Andrews, who previously competed in New Smyrna. She's one of our full-time gals. She just got involved in beach flags this year at the Daytona Challenge, and pretty much looked like she was in race mode.
She's in her prime right now. She's doing very well at beach flags, and I look forward to seeing how she does tonight. If I had to look at our roster, I would bet that she's racing again tonight for beach flags.
So let's send it down to Tammy. Tammy, let's put it in the hands of the starters. Get these girls rolling.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready to go. Yep, we're you can feel the nerves out here, that's for sure.
Oh, that was a slow start on the inside lane in Daytona's team. She kind of stutter stepped coming out of the box there, but good clean turn by each one of them.
Yeah, but let's see what they got. That was Sky. We've got Carmela, Emma, and Grace to finish up. So let's see if they can make up that little bit of ground.
There's Grace Sherman. She's probably going to gain a little ground on Orman in lane 2.
And she spent all week with the kids at Junior Lifeguards, a competition camp, teaching them how to race well. And they are. Look at it. We've got Orman and Daytona making some ground. Grace, you were right. She's making it up. We got Emma Pinciera grabbing on next.
Okay, here's Emma now. Emma was worried about a hamstring, or a hip flexor injury. When I spoke to her, she's going to pass on beach flags and see how she does here. But right now, she's holding her own. This last stretch is what's going to hurt.
Now, here we go. Here's the final. Oh, that's Carmela. Here's
Carmela. There's Emma.
Here we go. Let's see. They're definitely making up.
Emma got a good run, good exchange.
You've got Julie Barrett running for New Smyrna, so let's see if she can make up some ground. I think
we're going to interview the winning.
She stumbled a little bit.
And Julie Barrett just got back from an Army program. Daytona won.
Daytona, Ormond, then New Smyrna. That was a tight race. That was a fun one to watch.
That was a tight race. Emma Pintiera's hip flexor held up. She's probably going to scratch beach flags, however. And she is one of the 4 Pincieras that we mentioned earlier. She's also an elementary school teacher, 5th grade, at our new Beachside Elementary over here. So
she's doing a great job. She used to be my babysitter for my kids, and she's a twin.
And she's a
Hunter,
twin.
her twin brother, works out here, too. They're the middle of, I believe, 7 or 8 kids.
And they were both co-winners of Lifeguard of the Year.
They were 2 years ago. We normally we vote in a Lifeguard of the Year every year, and they did such a great job. We gave a dual award this year, and it looks like Tammy's got the winning team.
There they are. They were confident going in.
We do got the winning team down here, and they were fast. Oh my gosh! You made up a lot of ground. How do you feel about that?
Pretty good.
How did you train for that?
Lots of sprints. Soft and runs.
Lots of sprints. And then we have Emma here with a hip flexor injury. How did that feel?
I didn't feel it when I was running, so I feel it now, though.
Oh, yeah, you'll feel it later. Great job, girls. You did excellent. Do you have anything to say?
Nope, great job.
Good job. Great job, Daytona.
That's some happy faces right there. You know, there's a lot of pressure. You know, you don't realize it. We're sitting up here in the happy seats, but when you're lined up and you're in an event, it's butterflies. It doesn't matter if there's 3 teams, 4 teams, 5 teams, or it's an individual event. It's nerve-wracking.
Well, and every year there's a lot of pride sitting on the line, so you want to do well for your team. Daytona did. I mean, all teams did a great job on that, but Daytona, that was very impressive making up that ground from that start.
Right, and those guards have been working hard all week long. Even if they're in junior lifeguards instructors, they're on their feet walking around the soft sand in the heat all day long, 5 days a week, and it's tough when you got 75, 80 junior lifeguards to keep an eye on. It's a heck of a program. They've been down in Ponce Inlet all week with a competitors camp. And what do you know about that, AJ? That's something new this year.
Yeah, so this is the first year it's kind of merged with what we call the advanced camp, where we take them down to Marine Science Center Lighthouse. We really want to promote competition within our agency and with our up-and-coming youth in the area. So this is the first year it's a competition-based camp.
Mm-hmm.
And really myself and Tom McGibney are kind of leading it up, and we're showing the kids the skills. We're getting them on the paddle boards, giving them with fins, showing them the surf rescue, water entries, transitions, and really just show them the basics so we can hopefully get them to race in Delray Beach on July 22nd at Junior Regionals.
So there's going to be a Junior Regionals competition, so we could take a van load down there if we get them. And
yesterday I think we had about 15 kids raise their hand when I asked who wants to go. So.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. What's the age groups of our camp? Do you know?
So we've got C's, B's, and A's. C's are 9, 10, 11. We've got 12 and 13 for B group, and then 14 and 15 for our A's. And then once they hit 16, we get them as employees. Hopefully, if we've done it right.
So ideally, our feeder program is
the junior lifeguard. Absolutely. If you go to other countries, if you go to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa,
LA County, Los Angeles,
surf lifesaving, sports surf lifesaving is like Pop Warner is over here. Every town has a club. Every town has a camp. They get out of school. They go race. They train together. And it's a professional sport over there. And
That's awesome.
I'd like to see that.
Are we good to start?
Resemblance of that down here. And just, I mean, we're on the water. We have the ocean. Let's teach the kids how to be in it. Be safe.
Okay, Tammy, you got the boys lined up. We have the men's 4x100.
They're down here. They're ready to go.
Okay, let's let them have it. I'm looking at Ormond as a tough team this year, with Derek Taylor coaching them up.
We'll see. We've got Gavin Ziegler and Henry Fulton on Daytona team. Boston Learned. We've got some strong teams. Boston making that turn. Their Daytona's in third right now. Let's see if they can make it up.
Right. They've got plenty of talent. Gavin Ziegler is one of our fastest ones. Beach Flags champion as well. He'll be in this race. Usually he's the last one bringing up the rear, is he not?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll see. Gavin will be our anchor on Daytona, and it's going to be a close one. Let's see what happens. We still got 2 more. Henry Fulton going for Daytona.
Closing up. Ormond's in the lead still.
Let's see what happens here.
And Daytona's come up into second. Another clean turn. Another clean turn. If this may come down to Gavin Ziegler again in Daytona. And
let's see what we got.
Ormond and New Smyrna are locked in.
There you go. Daytona's hopefully. There's
a stumble.
Let's see if he can hold it. It's going to be close,
It's going to
Jack.
be close. Get the camera. Oh, no. A dive at the end may have done it. That's going to be a photo. I hope they had a camera on the finish line, because that dive, not recommended by workers' compensation people, but however, it looks like they may have gotten in front.
I would have to look back at the rules to see if that's disqualification or not.
I don't know.
I don't know either, and I wrote the rules, so
We're
let's see what
looking
happens.
We're looking at a camera right now. I think they're going to let the dive go.
It's going to be close.
He did get up.
He did.
Goodness gracious. And it is soft sand.
It
so,
We're looking at the camera now.
Well, here's the funny thing. It started out a little harder packed, but after everybody running through, you got nice, soft, silty sand down there.
I mean, that is picture. I mean, that's a photo finish. Ziegler does it. He's looking around the anchor man, one of the fastest boys we've got, and he doesn't know. He just doesn't know. He probably didn't want to dive. He's been nursing a couple of injuries too with all the beach flags.
He has. He's been nursing a shoulder injury. He's feeling good now, but we've got regionals next week. He's been training hard. He's also trying to transition. He's a land animal.
Right.
He's been paddling. He's been trying to surf ski a lot. So he's trying to transition to a little more water, trying to build a little more well-rounded.
Get a little bit more diverse.
Do you want me to tell you what they're doing right now?
Yeah, Tammy, let us know what you got.
Okay, right now, that was so close. We really couldn't tell. We have video footage and we have camera footage. We have about 4 or 5 people looking at that right now to try to figure out who won that race. It was very close. I was so nervous, and I'm not even running that race. So
I know. Can you imagine being one of the competitors? We were talking up here. I don't recommend diving. I certainly didn't expect Gavin to dive, and nor did he, in fear of injuring himself, because he's going to Delray Beach in 2 weeks for regionals, and he's looking ahead.
We got the photo finish.
I think they've got. Can we see it? Oh, we're trying to see.
Daytona won.
The chief says Daytona.
Daytona won.
Wow.
Wow.
That was the closest I've ever seen.
We're going to try to find the winning team.
That was a good finish.
And in the meantime, we've got the Medley relay coming up next, AJ.
This kind of adds everything together. We've got it's a 5-person team. We'll start out with our swim. They'll do an in and out. They'll come in, hand tag the paddler. Paddler's going to paddle the 2 inside buoys. Tag off on the runner. This is not my favorite part. They're going to have an 800-meter run, a half-a-mile run down the beach and back to tag off to the rescuer. The rescuer's going to swim out about 150 meters to a victim waiting. And then they're going to drag them back into shore. And that rescuer is going to have fins on if they so choose.
If they so choose.
If they so choose. I think today I would probably choose. We got a little bit longer of a swim as opposed to a water entry. So let's see what kind of tactics we see during this race.
Yes. Tammy, let's see the winning team in the run relay.
That was a great race. That was so exciting. I had goosebumps the whole time. Oh, my gosh, guys. How do you feel?
Amazing. Winners. Thrilled. Fast.
Yeah, and they were talking about how you didn't die because you don't want to get injured.
His body across the line is what I was going with. I didn't know he was that close, but I guess if I knew, I would have dove too, but still got him.
Style points for the dive.
Style points for NSB, yeah.
All right, great job, Daytona. Great job.
So Henry Fulton, Gavin Ziegler, Boston Learned, and Connor Amon pull out a win. And that's something to be proud for because they needed the points. I think they gained 2 points on Orman on that one. So that was crucial.
They did. Let's see how that plays out. Daytona's starting to get a little stronger during this event. I know Sergeant Derek Taylor was predicting Orman, but I think Daytona's going to give them a run for their money this year.
He was deep, and again, we got beach flags coming up, but the run carries over as an indication of your depth in beach flags. I mean, anything can happen, but when you show a good run team, it kind of shows me that your beach flags team is going to be good because ideally, do they not do both events?
Yeah, a lot of our athletes will do flags and the 4x1. And we'll see here as far as tactics goes. We kind of talked about earlier with the swimmers, whether you stack your swim team or your medley. And this is where that kind of plays out. Let's hope people kind of set stuff up how it's gonna help them in this next event.
Right. So we have Ian Jink and swimming for New Smyrna, who's a fast one.
He is, and Ian's working right now with Coast Guard recruiters. He's unfortunately, hopefully, he's going to leave us and go off into the Coast Guard and start a career with them.
Well, you know what? Good for him, and he'll be an outstanding Coast Guardsman. We also have Declan Outlaw, who's going to be the puller for the rescuer for Daytona. And
So
he's a workhorse.
He is, and he's a sibling. His brother Shay works here, and Declan actually just got an award at council on July 11th when we got our proclamation. He and Thomas McGibney, who's down there as one of our head officials, they had an amazing jetty rescue. Heavy storm rolling in, lightning. A couple people fell off the rocks and got trapped. Declan went out there. Tom was on the ski. Coast Guard came out. They were shuttling people from the rocks to the ski and then over to the Coast Guard boat.
With lightning popping all around.
With lightning popping all around.
And those barnacle-encrusted boulders are nothing to play with.
No.
Right? So inevitably somebody's going to get injured. There's sharks out there.
Oh, yeah. And
the Coast Guard boat is in this gray abyss of thunderstorms and rain and wind, and all the while those two are working at what they're good at and plucking those victims off the rocks.
And they asked Declan what he was thinking. He said just to get out there to help them. Now let's pan back. If you look at here, Daytona has taken the lead over Ormond, our District 2. So we still got the medley. We talked about that strategy. Let's see what teams we've got. We've got some good swimmers, some good teams. Looking at Ormond's team, you got Lucy Noble, who's a hydro, Eastern Michigan she's going to,
Eastern Michigan,
right?
she's got a scholarship. She'll be swimming at Eastern Michigan here in the fall. Yes.
They've got John Skegg, who's a great paddler. Seth Augustinowski, who's the son. His father retired from here.
Yes. Seth.
He's a fantastic. He's doing mile runs in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, Jack.
Right. He runs for Florida Southern, both mid-distance run and cross-country. So he's over here again for the summer. He was featured on one of Volusia County's community information public presentations that I saw on Facebook, on social media this week, too. He's outstanding personality. He competes. He does juniors. He does a little bit of everything. But if he gets the baton in the medley with just a smidgen of a lead, or he just has to make up a little bit, color him gone.
Oh, it's going to be good. They've got nice hard-packed sand down there, too. But then looking at Daytona's team, Will Carson for their swim, he's another hydro swimmer. They got Patrick Wilkie. He's a brother as well. His brother worked out here for us. Tyler Delecki, he's another brother. We've got a lot of brothers and sisters that work out here, a lot of families out here.
Yeah, I spoke to our scheduler this morning, and she said, make sure you mention the siblings. I said, well, how many we got? She goes, at least 10. And I said, okay.
There is a lot.
It's hard to keep track, but it's a great family affair. And we have Thomas McGibney here right now, whose wife is Mindy Green at one time, Mindy McGibney, and she was a world.
She's a world athlete.
She's a world athlete.
Phenomenal athlete.
She's home taking care of the three sons, and Tom, again, like we mentioned earlier, is the USLA's team coach, Team USA coach, or team manager this year. I'm not really sure which title he took this year, and they'll be going to the international competition, the ISL in
ISRC over in South Padre Island,
South Padre Island, and then the Gold Coast of Australia.
Gold Coast next year.
Next August.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So that's a busy schedule.
Yeah, so they're assembling the teams for that. A lot of that's going to hinge on the Nationals this year, which is up in Virginia Beach. So depending on how the athletes do there, that's how they're gonna make their choice for the world team to represent the U.S. in Australia.
Excellent. Tammy, who do you got down there?
Seth, you were just talking about him and how fast he is and his mile. How do you feel right now?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm near the peak of my summer training, going back to school just under a month. So feeling good and going to be happy to see what I can do and what everybody else can do. So I'll see you guys at the end.
All right, good luck, Seth.
He's such a joy to be around. He's always grinning. You know, he's totally humbled. He's always training. And I asked him earlier, I says, hey, is your head coach over there at Florida Southern know you're participating in these events? Because he mentioned to me he was going to do beach flags. I don't know if he's still on for that, because that could spoil the run season this fall at school. So he says, I send him videos all the time. I said, okay, good for you.
You know, it's hard to give that up, especially when you're good. I know you got bigger, brighter futures going to, but it's.
All right, we're about to start the medley. About to start the medley.
Okay, Tammy, let's start the medley, and we're going to start out with what, AJ? We start out with the swim?
We'll have the swim, yeah. It'll be an in and out on that first orange buoy.
So not the same course outline as the
No,
swim
this
race.
one, each course will be a little bit shorter. They're going to swim around the south buoy. The paddler will paddle around the 2 orange, which was previously the swim course. Then we'll have our 800-meter run. They'll run 400 meters down and back. And then our rescuer has about 150 meters. Their victim's going to be waiting on them for a line. So that's 150 meters out. Then they got to turn around and drag that person back in.
Now, the victims are usually lightweight.
Usually lightweight and
kickers.
great kickers. If we look at it, looking at these victims, we've got Maya Kana, we've got Kira Stone, who's a hydro swimmer, and then Haley Monahan. We've got some light swimmers. We got Lucy lining up right there next to Will Carson, both hydro swimmers. So
Lucy Nobles came on the scene last year. Is she a second-year guard or third-year guard? I forget now.
I believe she's a third-year guard, and she's really, really made ground in the sport itself. She did U19, and she's an extremely strong athlete. She's great at the board. She's good at ski, and she's just very well-rounded.
So she'll probably be going to regionals, yes?
She'll definitely be going to regionals, and hopefully if she plays the cards right, nationals after that.
She's strong. She's always happy, too. You know, they're just happy to be here. She'll be going to Eastern Michigan, a D1 college swim program this fall, too. So we're very proud of Lucy, and she's encouraged other ones in the Hydro 4 to come out. She
is. She's recruited for us, and she's one of the ones. She's been with me all week at our competition camp, passing on that knowledge. She started as a junior as well, and she's getting that knowledge. If you look here, it looks like we're racing, but we've got our victims going out. They're going to go out to that string of white buoys, and then they're going to get a little break. They're going to wait out there. They're not racing.
Here we go.
And here we go. We've got our swimmers starting. So you see we've got that shallow water. We've got a good high step. Kind of call that a duck walk.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of awkward, looks awkward, feels awkward, but it's fast.
And Lucy's tall, so Lucy's right up with the boys on this one.
Lucy is tall. She's a strong athlete. I think she's going to do. I think you're going to see her do very well in this. But that short and swim, Will Carson's a good sprinter, so let's see if he can pull something out too. So
Lucy's got a great stroke, though. I mean, she is strong. She's
got some good open water experience as well. She's strong enough to fight every little wave that pops into you is gonna knock you down, makes it a little bit more difficult to breathe. But if you see when she breathes, she's bringing her head up much higher. She's doing 2 things right there. One, she's bringing her head up so she can take a breath, but also she's sighting right now. So she wants to get the shortest distance she can, and that's directly on that buoy. So every time she brings her head up, she's sighting to make sure she's right on course for that buoy.
Right. Each swell, if you get into the trough of those swells, you lose your navigation. So there's no lines on the bottom of this pool. So you have to get a quick glance at your flag, and luckily that flag is sitting about 4 or 5 feet above the sight line, but you lose total sight of that in the trough between those wave swells.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I can tell you right now, their victims are screaming for them to get them through. Those victims have the best view of the house right now because they're going to see the paddlers go by them too.
Yeah, they do. That's a good seat right there. Now they won't be involved in this leg of the relay. They're waiting for the final part.
They're waiting for the rescue, and right now Lucy's making that turn. Let's see if Jimmy from New Smyrna is going to edge out Will. He's got the inside track, but Will's got a little bit of lead on him. He's got about 2 body lengths. So a lot of this returning is going to come into play, and I know how Lucy swims. You're going to see her pick it up on the way in.
Right.
She's going to be faster on the way in. Every little wave that comes through, she's going to grab the energy under that wave, and she's going to push a little bit further ahead, and you're going to see Orman's lead lengthen in this swim portion.
Right. She got about 3 or 4 swells lift her and distance her from them before they took the turn. So she doubled at least the distance between her and her competition just by getting that inside lane and getting out ahead of them.
And I'd say you'd see their kicks increase as they get close to the shore, but I've seen Will and Lucy swim. They don't stop kicking at all. So they're going to continue that hard kick to keep that blood in their legs. And, Jack, do you know when you're supposed to stand up when you're making your water exit?
When your fingertips drag the sand.
When your fingertips drag the sand. If your hand's not hitting the ground, you're too deep, and guess what? You're going to stand up and stop.
And you lose about 6 or 8 strokes of momentum. And, gosh, you really want to stand up. You think you see the bottom if they're wearing goggles or not. You think it's within leg reach. And even swimming drill a few days ago, I thought I had leg reach, and I tried to stand up, and my head went right underwater. And now I'm going backwards.
And then you got to start all over again.
You got to start all over again. Like I said, you got to get about 8 strokes before you have that same momentum back again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can see Lucy's pulling away. Will's pulling away from Jimmy there from New Smyrna. They're really going to power down. This is the last event they have to do, and this is the last portion. So you're really going to see them power down, give it all. Lucy's standing up. She's going to do a couple dolphin dives. You'll see maybe a bunny hop and then a high step here in a second.
Look,
or look at her. She's going to wait for that wave.
Yep, she's waiting for a wave. She wasn't looking at her competition. She may have glanced at, but that wasn't the purpose. The purpose was getting that free ride.
And if you look in the back, Will caught one a little bit sooner, had a little bit bigger wave to come through, but Lucy's up on her feet, and she's making ground.
Now, this is a huge advantage. This is a huge advantage for Ormond. However, Lucy is entered in beach flags. Another new lane for her.
And she's strong as well. She's definitely one of those well-rounded athletes where she's good in the water and on land.
So Daytona's paddler is in second.
Yeah, we've got Patrick Wilkie. He's strong. Let's see if he can catch up to John. And then you'll have Rosie Cochran, who's a middle school teacher.
Yeah.
Coming on the paddle from New Smyrna.
From New Smyrna. He's worked in every district. He was working, I think, in Daytona or Ormond, and he's down in New Smyrna now.
So
and there's Rosie now.
It's got a little hop through that little slough right there. It's going to get a little shallower.
And again, when Rosie first came on, he wasn't a paddler.
He definitely was not.
I think his forte was distance running, if I remember, and during recruit class. And lo and behold, look who's on a paddleboard now.
Oh, see, that's the beauty of it. We've got assets, we've got resources, we have knowledge. So everyone has the opportunity to have fun and be out here.
And to practice.
So John's going to make John's taking a different tactic. He's going to sit up on that board.
You want to interview Lucy?
Let's see if Liam's going to lay down or he's going to stay up on his knees. Now, the quickest way is on your belly. You're going to drop your inside foot. Now, if you see Liam just dropped his inside foot to make that turn a little bit quicker. He didn't lose a whole lot of momentum on that turn like John did sitting up.
Right.
So we'll see if that pays off.
Stay down. Now he's getting up on his knees. Okay, Tammy, you got Lucy Nobles down there.
Yeah, we got the fast swimmer down here. She is a phenomenal athlete. Lucy, how'd you feel?
I was feeling tired from working juniors all week.
She worked all week and then came out here and competed. She worked all day. That's what these athletes do, these lifeguards. They work all day. They compete in the morning and in the afternoon. They train all the time. Lucy, how much do you swim usually per day?
Per day, I'm usually doing doubles on top of drill when I can, depending on my work schedule.
How much is that?
Too much.
How many yards?
We're doing between 4,000 and 7,000 at practice, so a lot of yardage.
4,000 and 7,000. Oh my God! Great job, Lucy. Great job.
Thank you.
And we'll see her again in beach flags unless she's beat. Like I mentioned, a lot of these juniors instructors have been working all week long, and it's different because they're walking, they're pacing all day long in soft sand, running the juniors program out in the heat. They're not up underneath an umbrella. They're not propped up and seated on a lifeguard tower. So it's a whole different fatigue.
Oh, I was a junior instructor 20 years ago, and I've been doing it this week, and I forgot how tiring it actually is.
You're drained.
Oh,
You're absolutely
exhausted.
drained.
Absolutely.
I know. I couldn't do it. Okay, so now we have the runners. These are generally middle distance runners, cross country type fellas, and they're getting ready to do what? How far are they going to go?
400 meters down, 400 meters back. Now, here's the beauty. You've got John from Ormond held that lead. That's Seth Augustinowski taking off. He's one of our fastest runners here on the beach. Like I said before, he's averaging 4-minute, 15-second miles.
So he's gone.
Kid's got wheels.
He's gone.
So this is, I mean, I get tired just watching. This is a long run.
Look at that stride. Look at that stride. And so where this comes in handy is our towers are a long ways apart, depending on where, bather counts are. So just picture seeing somebody in trouble, I don't know, 300 yards away, 400 yards away, spotting it, calling it in, grabbing your buoy, and running down the beach. So this is typically the kind of sprint that they're going to do, and then, while keeping an eye on your victim, enter the water and go get your person that's in trouble.
Effective rescue, yeah.
So this is where this middle distance training comes into play. You got to be fit. So we mix up the running and the swimming during. It's not just all swim during daily drills, is it?
No. We mix up running, swimming, calisthenics. We try and be well rounded. And Jack, you're a bit of a runner yourself.
In my day, yeah. And I tell you, when we tell some of these discouraged newbies that come to work for us, they struggle passing the requirements because they see these pool swimmers and they're lightning quick in the water, and they're coming out, close to the back and drill. I said a huge percentage is recognition. Another huge percentage is the land work you're doing, the getting to the water first, and then the swim could be only 25 yards. You know, 50 yards.
Most rescues are 25, 50 yards offshore.
Right.
But you got to be prepared for anything.
For the wind. And they don't save anything in the run. When they're doing their surf entries and their sprints down to their victim, they're not saving a whole lot. They're gassed when they get to the victim, and then they'll reassess.
That's it. And we tell them, all we need you to do is get out there to them. Because, like I said, we work together out here. We're always here to back each other up. There's help on the way. So they're not holding anything back getting out into that water to help that person.
No.
Because when in life savings, seconds count.
Seconds count. That's it. He's stretching his lead now. He's not letting up, but he has definitely smoked the field with the lead that he started with. And like I said, he's undoubtedly the fastest middle distance runner and distance runner that we have on our staff. So he's feeling no pain. He's not stressing at all. He's just got a nice stride, and he's working through the final stages of his run.
Well, and he's tagging off with Dante DePietro from Ormond, and I believe he was a hydro swimmer too. He started with us, I believe, last year. So he's coming in. They're going to do a hand tag. You're going to see Dante take off with that buoy in his fins. And they've got a commanding lead.
Yeah, that's a big lead. They can take it easy on the rescue, I think,
So,
judging from the distance they've got.
Here's the hard part now for them. They got to use those fins. They got to kick the entire way out. So now you see he's turning around. He's putting his fins on.
And here comes second place in the foreground.
Normally you want to do that about waist deep water, and then he's going to turn around and start swimming. But let's see right here. He's taking a little bit along. Let's see what Daytona's going to do.
He's
they
got
may
a
be able to
problem.
run past him.
He had a problem
So
with
he's
one
got
of
his
his
fins on. That water's shallow. Let's see if that's
Let's see how far the
that's Declan Outlaw. He's much taller. He may be able to run right up next to Dante.
He is.
Look
Indeed,
at that.
he is.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Declan is about 6'4", 210 pounds. He's a beast. He is going further into the surf. Now, there's going to be a slowdown when he goes to put his fins on. He doesn't even want to stop now, but he's got to.
He's so close. But let's see how quick he does. He's got one
that
on.
was, that was clean. What a shot. What a shot from this drone. You guys are on top of it. Unbelievable.
So,
that was much quicker.
Oh, yeah. So now their next step, they have to pick up that victim. The victim is going to hold on to that buoy with both hands. They cannot stroke in. They're allowed to kick. So let's see who's got more legs, Maya or Kira Stone, once they get picked up. Those are the two victims. Dante's picking up Maya. Declan's picking up Kira. Both hydro swimmers. Let's see how they do.
Both friends.
Both friends.
Talking trash out there on that buoy line right now.
Right now, they're both watching how close their rescuers are.
Screaming.
This is where it's going to come into play. Who's got the stronger legs out of these victims, and who's got gas left in the tank for Dante and Declan?
Declan's got a clean stroke, too. Let's see. Yeah.
Long arms.
And again, if they're close, okay, he stopped a little shy.
She can't let go until he grabs that buoy.
He stopped a little shy. Oh, almost a collision.
So let's see if Declan's get a little cleaner. Kira's on it. They're going. This is where it's going to happen.
Yeah. Declan is somewhat taller. Declan is somewhat taller, so at the surf exit.
But you got to think, when both the victim and the rescuer, when they hit that shoreline,
their
legs are jelly.
They have no legs left.
So let's see. Now, Dante's taking a little bit northerly track back towards, because they are angled away from the finish line. Let's see if that's going to pay off. You may see Declan go a little bit straighter in so he can get up and run faster, but let's see what's going to happen.
So this isn't a straight finish at the shore. They have to run a little bit north of those dual checkered flags.
They're going to come up. Well, looking back at the water, they're both swimming straight towards those checkered flags. They're going to eliminate the run out of it altogether.
And what's faster, swimming or running?
Running.
We don't angle when we're entering the water on a rescue. We're taught that. They're neck and neck. They're seeing each other. They're kind of following each other.
And they're also, so here's the thing. You're going to start playing with these swells coming in. Your victim's going to catch it. Then you're going to catch it. then the victim's going to stop, and that buoy strap's going to snatch down on your shoulder. It's quite uncomfortable.
Quite uncomfortable.
So let's see how far they're going to take it in, though.
There's going to be a telling swell right now.
So here's let's see who's got legs. Let's see if Declan can get on it.
Oh, both victim and swimmer caught it for Orman.
All right, so we got another one coming. But if you look, Orman's taking a little bit more northerly track. All right, Declan's up. He's taking his fins off. Dante's got they're up moving. Let's see. Kira's got to keep up with him. There's his brother, Shea Outlaw, right there, jumping up and down. His older brother.
Who's won it before? Oh, his victim fell. She fell. No legs left. And she can't let go of the buoy. So you can't catch her. He's dragging her. He's dragging her.
That was
what a race. Yeah. Rubber legs, both teams. That was closer than I thought. Seth Agustinowski gave them every bit of the lead that they needed.
Hey, listen, it goes to show technique and experience. Declan's got a couple more years on Dante. That makes a difference out here, especially when you're doing a technical race like this, putting fins on, traversing through the surf.
That was much closer than I thought. Kudos, they stacked their team. They had a great team. They had Lucy Nobles. They had Seth. So, that was expected of them. But, boy, it was a lot closer than I thought it was.
And like we said, they're labeled as a victim in the race. They're not a victim. They're working just as hard as everybody else because they can only kick.
They're a victim of tired legs now.
Tammy,
who do you got down there, Tam?
We got most of the team down here, but they're super excited right now, so we're trying to get them all together. How did you feel? That was a great finish. That was phenomenal. How do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, ozone, baby.
How challenging was that?
Light work.
Yeah, you definitely made it look easy. You guys did great. Great team. Another win for Orman. You have anything to say?
We just came out here and did what we did, and winning's what we do. So,
winning is what they do.
I think that ties the score up.
Let's see. That was yeah, you may be right, Jack. That may even things out for first and second place.
According to my math, I thought it was a 4-point lead going into this event with Daytona in the lead.
Yep.
And, there's only a 2-point differential in this finish.
10 and 8.
So it looks like Orman's 2 points behind right now. That's just in my head right now. We'll go down to the board here in a minute.
Well, you said it. And a lot of times it comes down to flags. So we still got some good light left over. We're going to run through that. And I think we're going to have a good show tonight.
And so it will. We got some good light. We had some cloud coverage coming. It's cooled us off a little bit, but we're still going to have some light. But as usual, beach flags, both men's and women's, is going to determine the finish. Now, New Smyrna's
Hey guys, we're going to get a video of the scoreboard.
Well. Okay, let's see what you got on the scoreboard, Tammy.
This is what we got right here. Looks like we're looking at District 2 right now.
Look at that. Tied.
It is tied.
District 2, District 3, Orman, Daytona.
It is tied.
Here we go, down to flags, just like you said, Jack.
So we'll see, how deep this goes. Now, remember, you can't score multiple points per team.
Correct. You only score, so you have each team has each district has 3 men, 3 women. You only score as high as your fastest competitor. So even if you have 2 from the same district, first and second, you're only getting the points for first place.
Okay. So if you're eliminated first, you get the 6 points.
You're eliminated first?
All 3. If all 3 of your people are out first, then that's it. We'd like to see 1 from each.
Oh, we'd love to.
In the last 3.
And we've had multiple years where we have 1 district, 2 people battling it out from the same district.
For the
that's bragging rights. Right?
Let's do an interview with Emma. She's going to go ahead and do beach flags.
District, but that's bragging rights right there.
Okay, Tammy, let's hear from you. You say Emma Pinchiaro is going to go.
Yeah, Emma couldn't stay out of the competition, so we have down here. Emma won 2nd place last year in beach flags, and she just couldn't stay out this year even with her injury. So what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm just excited to do it again and have fun. I'm just going to have fun.
Come to work tomorrow, okay?
I'll come to 8:30.
All right.
Good for Emma. She's, like I said, she's a 5th grade teacher this fall for first year full time just graduated. We're so proud of her, and she's just so great for our team here, and a morale booster, all around great gal, and hopefully she'll come out a winner this year.
We'll see. Now, talking about beach flags,
Going to be a new champ.
we'll have no matter what, we'll have a new champ this year, because
Yeah,
Caroline Leidecker is not here.
Is not here 3 years in a row. I think she was a winner.
So this will be interesting. So people wonder, what does laying down, turn around and running down to the beach and grabbing a hose out of the sand have to do with lifeguarding?
I don't know.
We talked about it earlier, Jack. Seconds count.
Seconds count.
So you have to be fast. So this is one of my favorites to watch. This is one of everyone's favorite to watch because you're right there in it. So the athletes are going to line up. They're going to be facing on their bellies opposite the flags. The call will be heads down. They'll put their heads down and a whistle. They're going to stand up, turn around, and race 20 meters to try and grab that flag out of the water or out of the sand before their other competitors do. We're starting with 9. It'll be single elimination down to the last 2.
And one last flag.
One last flag.
Then competitor.
It's musical chairs in the sand.
Musical
It's
chairs.
musical chairs.
A fan favorite. A fan favorite. Like we said, our champ for the last several years has been Ms. Leidecker, who had several siblings that came through our program
She
as
had
well.
Allie and Andrew, 2 other ones. Her
Yep.
dad's an amazing supporter of us, Charlie. He's
Charlie
done
Leidecker, and
amazing athlete,
yeah.
by the way, just like his kids. That's
Yep.
where they get it from.
A guard up on the beaches, Jones Beach, New York, I think, before he came down and fully supported us all through national competitions in
2015, 2017.
And I think this year his daughter is interning with the Speedway Corporation. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but Allie is.
Yep,
so,
that's fantastic.
So that's fantastic. And again, after college educations, we encourage them to seek the profession that they're trained in, and good for them. And I just wish there was a lot more Leideckers coming up through the ranks in juniors or what have you. But this year's going to be exciting to see who the new talent is. Lucy Nobles and Jess Andrews. Jess Andrews has come in from New Smyrna to go for Orman, who's done really well in the Daytona Invitation.
Yes, she did very well. She is a very strong athlete. She's got the fire, but Lucy's got it as well. So we'll have to see. They're about even on their experience level with the flag. So we'll see who prevails.
We'll see who prevails. So those are 2 big favorites. So I'm sure that's why Orman is so confident.
Yep.
And coming down into
you saw Emma tying up. We talked to her.
We see
Emma's racing tonight.
The spoiler.
So
the spoiler.
I think we're gonna have a good race.
So we'll see who else they got in Daytona that's going to compete. Who else does Daytona have? Any recognizable names with experience there? Got a lot of new faces.
Carmela Weaver.
There she goes. She was on the 4x100 too.
Yep. Well, it's either Carmela or Sky. With Emma jumping back in, one of them bumped. We're not sure which one. We'll find out when they line up.
And how about Grace Sherman?
And then we've got Grace Sherman. Grace has been with me all week at our competition camp for juniors. So
tired legs.
But you saw her on the run in that 4x.
Pretty impressive.
She's still got the energy.
Pretty impressive. So right now they're briefing them. Scott Peterson and Tom McGivney. They're briefing them, giving them lane selection. Right? They draw.
Yeah. So they'll draw. It's a blind draw by lane. So what you'll see with more of our experienced athletes, our younger athletes are just going to race to the baton, the flag. Our more experienced, they're going to work together. So if you've got, let's say, 2 Orman athletes and the Daytona in between them, they're going to try and cut the Daytona out.
Pinch her out.
They're going to try and pinch her out. They're going to work together. That's smart racing.
To eliminate one of Daytona's,
Yep.
one at a time, knock them out. And that is strategic. They're not allowed to peek over their shoulder to see where the placements go.
Inherently, there's going to be contact when you're racing, but you are not allowed to impede another athlete. So Jack, and we should do this for fun. I'm just as slow.
Go ahead.
If I throw my arm out like this, I'm impeding your flow. I'm disqualified.
No elbow.
No elbows out. I can't put my hand in front of you. I cannot slow you down. But we can bump, but I can't reach out in front of you to stop you. And then grabbing the flag, you're going to see some good dives. You're going to see some sandy faces, some sugar cookies out there.
Mm-hmm. How about false starts?
False starts
Flinching
should be one on the field. So it's going to be you're now on the hands of starter, heads down. Once that heads down, if you move before the whistle, it's a false start. First one should be on the field, so it's a wash. Second one, that person's eliminated.
Because we've seen some DQs in the past. I can remember I was looking for a clean sweep in New Smyrna one year in a competition, and my favorite she was going to win. She was sort of like Jess Andrews, same body style, body type, quick, up on her feet fast. She was hands down the fastest, and she got ahead of herself in the final 2 people, and she flinched.
It's hard sitting
She
there
was gone.
waiting. It's extremely difficult. So you'll see them line up right now. They've got a rope across their feet. So they're going to back up to that rope. They're going to get tucked in. They're going to build their little sand castles, ready to push off. They'll move that line, and here we go.
A lot of anticipation here. Folks, you're going to love this. Don't blink.
See,
Look
there's
at
a
this
flag
hose in
left.
the
There's a
foreground.
flag. No
Emma,
one
look
grabbed that
behind,
flag.
look
Look.
behind.
Tell
Point-
your Daytona,
point
look.
to your
No one
friend.
grabbed it.
Point. There it
See?
is. Nobody saw
Every
it
time you're done, you got to look around. We saw it firsthand. There's a flag open that nobody else saw.
in the foreground.
So always scan. You can see some people that run last, and they're watching for those flags.
Yep, they'll pick up the leftovers. They'll pick up the leftovers, and hey, they may have gotten a bad start. They may have not got the, a good footing on the turnaround or what have you.
So now we'll
And
rotate. Now we'll rotate to the
To the
gentlemen.
men's.
We've got Seth Augustinowski. We saw him run already. Chad McAuliffe and Mateo Castillo. There's some new athletes for us.
Right.
Daytona's got Gavin
You got
Ziegler,
Gavin
our reigning
Ziegler,
champ.
the favorite.
Arthur Gendro.
Oh, no. He's been in the past. He's been unstoppable, untouchable, and he's an old guy now.
He's an old guy,
He's
but
like
wait
you.
till you see him. He's out there. He's doing triathlons as well.
Yep.
He's out there running 8 or 10 miles at a 6:50 pace.
Just did the Boston Marathon, pace under 7 minutes per mile.
He missed his goal by 1 minute. He ran a 3 hours and 1 minute.
That's fast.
That's fast.
That's fast.
That's fast.
That's 45, 50 minutes faster than I ever went. And he's entered in the Augusta Ironman
He is.
in the fall.
Yes.
So he's well-rounded. And he's a father. Here we go. First round, eliminating down to 8. Gavin Ziegler got one with ease.
Yep, there's Destin Charlo from New Smyrna. Passing his batons off, that's Deputy Chief Aaron Jenkins, who took my place on
the
course.
beach.
And that's Deputy Chief Tammy Malford's husband.
Daytona
Gary
Beach Shores,
Malfors.
Gary Malfors, Daytona Beach Shores officer.
He helps out every year he's down there. You got Dave Hunt
And
down there
there's
for
Dave Hunt
community information.
getting the finish line film. So we're down to 8 competitors now. We eliminated 1 on each side, ladies and men. So we're going to go down to 7 beach flags.
Yes. So and we alternate between the men and the women to give them a little bit of a break. But it also speeds things up because while they're racing, the men are choosing their lane selection.
They're getting lane selections, and the ladies are ready to go again. And I'm not sure who got put out that first round. I'm sure Tammy will let us know here. And you'll be able to see, and this is where the beanies help. This is where we can identify.
I think it may have been Carmela Weaver. I saw her going for it at the very end, but New Smyrna got to it first.
Okay, I only see in this one, I see 2 greens in the middle.
Yeah, we're missing a Daytona. I think that
I
was
see
Carmela.
2 whites. And it's light.
Well, look at that shot.
That's a cool shot, too. Come back here, drone.
All right, so there's Jess Andrews. She got one. Lucy's got one. Looks like Grace turned hers in. There's
Lucy got one. Jess got
Bella
one. So we got
Dillman. Let's see who's walking off with that one.
Emma got one.
Oh, someone just took their cap
Took their
off.
cap off.
That looked like is that Juliet Henning, I believe?
I saw a
I think
white.
that was Juliet.
Was that a
New
white?
Smyrna.
Okay, that was
So
a
that would've
green
been
cap.
Green. Yep, that's Juliet Henning.
So I see 3 white caps. So we have 3 of Daytona's back still in the men's, returning for round 2.
So we're missing a New Smyrna from Daytona. It's not Destin Charlo. I still saw his mustache.
So if you still have 3 Orman men and 3 Daytona men,
It's coming down to
they
this.
still got the max. They've
And
still got the max.
I got to tell you, Jack, I'm not a land creature. I've done this a couple times. It is nerve-wracking laying down there waiting for them to blow that whistle.
I know. It's hard to get up anyway in this soft sand. It really is. The sand is so pliable and it has so much give to it. And then you jump up, and then you got to run through it.
And you'll see different techniques. Some people will stand up and turn. Some people, you'll see Arthur Gendro will pivot as he's getting up.
Turn.
See, that was Art in the black shorts. That's Art right in the middle. If you guys watched him, he makes that turn
Yes,
as
he
he's
did.
getting up. So when he stands up, he's already facing the flags.
We had a guard years ago do that. He went on to be in the FBI. He was out of Jacks Beach,
Latrell Smith.
That's where I first saw that pivot in the sand. It
Yep.
was almost like he was on one arm or one knee, and he spun before he even came up 12 inches off the ground. So he was already around.
Oh
and
yeah,
off to the
it's
races.
definitely a technique that
Looks
is
like we
is
just
learned.
lost Seth to
And
shoulder
it
injury.
is the fastest.
Uh-oh. Who did you? Let's go down to Tammy. Sounds like we've got an injury on the
Yeah,
course.
we Seth from Ormond.
Uh-oh.
He has a shoulder injury. It looks like we just lost him out of
See.
beach flags.
So we always worry about this event where we have bumps and bruises and there can be joint pain and there's collisions down there, and it sounds like Seth Augustinowski is out of the race. So hopefully he's okay.
I hope it's something minor. You got
Hopefully
to
it
think
is, too.
if you're reaching out to grab that flag, you've got somebody's full body weight that could land on your shoulder. A lot of shoulder.
Yeah,
potential.
you're extending your shoulder, your elbow. Gavin has been dealing with the hyperextension as well. It looked like Emma might have gotten shut out that time.
Now we
Let's
got
see.
Grace.
Nope, Emma's got a flag
Emma's
in her
got
hand.
a flag.
Lucy's got one, Bella Dill one.
Grace Schurman was left without.
Yeah.
So we have 3 orange caps still in it for Ormond. We had 2 green, and it looks like just 1 white.
We did.
One
so that
Daytona.
would be Emma left.
So this is where the ganging up starts to occur.
Yeah, see, you got 2 from each team working against Emma on this next round after the boys here. So let's see what happens. So we're sitting 3 Daytona, 2 New Smyrna, 2 Ormond here in the men's beach flags.
In the men's.
Looks like you got Art Gendro. Oh, he's spaced out on the far right of your screen. Gavin on your left.
They're equally spaced.
then
1, 4, and 7 are Daytona, it
You
looks
got
like.
Boston and Learned, so they could work together.
Yes, they can.
They're spread out. Let's see if that pays off. And it's a blind draw, so they don't know where they're going to be.
And I would have to say at this point, what I've seen out of Art Gendro, Sergeant Gendro out of Daytona, and Gavin, they're favorites. Oh, there's some pushing.
Oh, let's see what happened.
I don't know. Oh, he got it. He got it.
I think that's Destin Charlo that from New Smyrna. He was favored to be in the final.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
But it only takes one little stumble.
Yeah, there was some collision going on. It would look like somebody was caught up, hung up between 2, right in that middle lane there, and he was getting bounced around like a ping pong ball. It's hard to keep your footing. You're trying to focus on the target, the flag itself, but in the meantime, you're in an uneven surface.
Oh, yeah.
So if your feet are flying across the subsurface of that sand and one little trip up, and you're down.
Well, and you're right off the bat. You're picking what flag you want to go to, depending on who you're lined up with. They may beat you. You got to look around real quick. You may have to change your plan halfway through if you're not beating the person you thought you were going to be ahead of.
Right.
So that's a 20 meters. That's a lot to think about.
It is, and there's a lot of things going on in your head too. You're thinking, am I working on an opponent I can't beat, or am I going to try and shut out my partner's opponent, or what have you? There's a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking, and you got to do it a bunch of times if
Bunch
you're
of
good.
times. They're getting tired now.
I hear the women again.
So
Let's
we
see.
got Emma in the middle with Daytona. She came up clean again.
Let's
She
see
got
who
one.
Came up without a flag. Looks like Bella Dillman. She was another one favored to go to the final.
Yeah, she sure was.
She's a very, very strong runner.
And again, Lucy Nobles came up with one. And I think we still have Jess Andrews in the mix as well. I didn't see Jess, but I fully
we've got
her.
Jess was walking there. We've got her too. So
it's getting dark down on the beach.
It is. We're racing daylight, but we're doing better than last year, I got to say.
Boy, and we thank again the community information team. They're out here. They've been working. They've been over here for 3 days, I think, putting up equipment and getting all the logistics worked out of this. And with this camera shot, it's perfectly light out, but it is getting dark.
Oh, yeah.
It is getting dark, and it's getting a little harder to see probably for those competitors down on ground level.
I hope they get a shot inside at all the production stuff on what they've got set up for our little competition here. All right, here we go.
We land a Nationals or a World soon. We're going to invite them back for that, for sure.
Think so.
Give them the national exposure they deserve.
That's a great team.
Okay, we're up and we're down to 6.
Looks like New Smyrna. New Smyrna's knocked out on that one.
Sergeant Gendreau came up clean again, as well as Gavin Ziegler for Daytona.
It looks like it's up to Daytona and Ormond left in the left in here in men's beach flags.
As we figured.
We've got, so now here's how it's going to play into Jack. We've got 3 Daytona and 2 Ormond left in men's beach flags.
And in women's, the opposite, I think.
Correct, and I think you're going to see a lot of work between Daytona with Gavin, Boston Learned, and Arthur.
Little nonverbal communication out there. They're not. They don't talk.
They're grouping up.
They're grouping up right now.
As soon as you lay down, they know they're who they're going after, who they're going to try and pinch out, and they're going to try and systematically take down.
Right.
Each one.
So as the women's go right now, they're allowed to talk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now they won't know who they're going to line up with until they lay down.
Right, and then by the time they do lay,
that's when you get that look, that little nod.
Yeah.
And they know what to do.
Yeah. They automatically at that point know.
Boston's got a couple years on his belt. Gavin definitely does, and Arthur's got quite a bit of experience in beach flag.
Right.
So.
And that'll play out. Emma's stuck in the middle again.
Lucy cutting across the field.
But
so
Emma.
That's what I'm talking about. That communication.
Tried to get her.
Slowly picking people off. They know they want to get New Smyrna out. So Lucy cut almost across the field and came back 2 flags.
Right.
To get the one she wanted.
Right.
It's going to be a good final.
And it slowed Emma down.
It did.
Because she not only had to stutter step a little bit to back off so she didn't trip with Lucy, then she had to refocus and find a flag. And there it was, luckily.
It's going to be a good final.
Right.
This is where you start seeing communication and start seeing teamwork.
Right. Luckily, there was 2 flags to her right instead of 1. If there had only been 1, Emma from Daytona, Emma Pincero would have been shut out right there, just on a tactic. So here we go with 3 Daytona people, the 3 white caps. You got lane 1, lane 3, and 4, depending on which way you're.
We've got Chad McAuliffe and Mateo left from Ormond, both new athletes, both new guards. So let's see how this is going to play out against the experience of the Daytona guards.
They have at least second place. That shows
Boston Learned.
Boston was eliminated.
Yep, so we're going to have 2 Daytona, 2 Ormond.
2 Ormond. Oh, this is going to get interesting.
This will be good.
This is going to be interesting. Who's still got gas in their tank?
And you'll hear this crowd's going to get louder and louder as we start eliminating more people.
4 ladies left now.
So now we've got Lucy Noble, Jess Andrews lined up left to right. You've got Emma Pinciaro. And then I'm going to guess that's Megan Grohl.
From New Smyrna Beach. So the 2 Ormonds are partnered on one end, so they're going to see a crossover.
I think so. You're going to see Lucy. You're going to see Lucy jump over.
Right. You're going to see Lucy.
She's going to make the cross.
You're going to see Lucy, or whoever gets the lead, whoever gets the quickest start.
Yeah, they would.
It's
be
getting
smart
quiet
to
down there
push
now.
Emma out.
It's getting nervous and quiet.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be good, and let's see where they go. Oh, Emma.
There you go.
Emma's leg gave out. Her hip flexor was bothering her.
She was nervous about it.
And nervous about it. So
I think had it not been so close coming into this, I don't think you would have seen her step up for this event.
So that means Daytona gets 6 points. They're third.
Correct. We were tied.
We got New Smyrna still in the mix, but she's got 2 really fast people to spoil.
Correct.
I don't see it happening, but it could.
We've still got 2 Ormond and 2 Daytona.
Right.
Men's.
This
so now
could go
this will
either
be
way.
interesting. You've got Gavin lined up first, and then Arthur next to him. You're going to see Arthur doesn't have a choice. He has to go left. He's going to make the jump over because he's not going to take Gavin's flag. The question is, how far over is he going to go?
Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight here. Hopefully, this could end up in a tie again. I'm not sure, depending on how they finish here, but this whole thing could end up in a deadlock.
Look at that.
Great starts by both the Daytonas.
But here's what you got to watch, though. You can't back off at the end because someone may dive underneath you.
Yeah.
So just because your body or 2 length ahead doesn't mean you can slow down or just roll up to the flag because someone could still dive underneath you. We saw it during the 4x1.
Yeah, I've seen them tap the brakes and go to their knee instead of a dive
Yeah.
on this and lose it with a hand underneath.
But what you also see is when they do that, they'll shift. If they got someone to the right, they'll
And
shift
box
their
them
body
out.
weight so they can't come around to grab that. So a lot of techniques. So we've got Jess Andrews lined up, Lucy Noble.
Lucy
like I
in
said,
the middle.
that looks like, I want to say Megan Grohl there on the end. Another sibling, her brother,
Yeah.
works for us as
There-
well.
There's another pair.
Does
There's
a lot of our
another pair.
drone work.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the taller of the three is in the middle, just by happenstance, in Lucy Noble. She's fast. She's newer.
Yep.
But from what I've seen so far, she's got an edge.
So, and here's what you're going to get. They're both going to go left. You got two flags. They're going to try and box out. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a stumble on the start.
She
Look
got
at
it.
that. What
Orman
a
wins.
good race.
Orman is eliminated. New Smyrna, they get 10 points.
New Smyrna's eliminated.
New Smyrna, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
New Smyrna is eliminated.
I was nervous about that because Megan had her on the start.
She did.
Megan had her on the start. Megan had an amazing pop-up on that
pop-up.
start.
Amazing pop-up. And now the Queen of Beach to dethrone Miss Lydecker is going to be between.
And I don't think you're going to have a friendly runoff with these two. I think they both want it.
Oh, they both want it.
Now, you're looking
Tomorrow
at
they'll be friends.
Oh, yeah. You're looking at the men now. You've got Orman lined up in the middle between Gavin and Arthur. That's
Yeah,
going to be interesting.
So the middleman has the option of going right or left.
If they give it to him.
If they give it to him.
Let's see what's going to happen.
If they give it to him.
Both of them have so far have had the fastest pop-ups for the men. So let's see what they do here.
And they got much more experience, I think.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Oh, they both were
Look
head
at
and
that.
shoulders, literally, up,
Beautiful.
up and around. So Orman's been eliminated.
Yes.
So we know the points already in my head.
I'm not good at math. I'm not going to throw it out there.
I'm going to throw it out there. Do I spoil it?
Let's let them win.
I'll let them win first because
Now.
this is more important. The winner is more important than to me right now than
Yeah.
the points.
I know both these girls. They're both friends. I don't think
We're
they're
going to
gonna
try
give
to
it
get
up.
the winner in an interview.
I think this
Okay.
is still going to be a battle.
I do too.
Winston.
I do too.
There's some pride on. There's some big pride on here.
I've seen them agree on a
In
tie
an interview.
before, but I don't think that's going to happen today.
I sure hope not.
I sure hope not.
I know Jess wants this. And I know
They're
Lucy
both
wants
extremely competitive.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna come to a ladylike agreement.
No,
and
definitely
stop.
not. Let's see what we got.
There was a slip. Lucy slipped, but she got a reach.
There it is.
It's
No,
Jess Andrews.
Jess Andrews got it.
She's quicker. There you go.
Beautiful. Look at that. Smiles and all.
Smiles and all. Jess Andrews competed last year
That's
for
what
New
we're
Smyrna.
looking
That's
for
what we're
here,
looking
Jack.
for.
That's the camaraderie we're looking for here
Yeah.
at Volusia County Beach Safety.
Interview with Jess.
Tammy, let's see what Jess.
Interview with Jess after this.
Okay. So we're down to the final flag.
And you're going to
With-
get the same. You're not going to get any friendships here. Good friends.
No, these boys are both real stout.
Yes, they
as
are.
well. There's a lot of muscle involved there. There's not a lot of give. They're both extremely quick, extremely experienced. So Sergeant Gendreau, boss over Gavin Ziegler, world traveler. He's going to go to Europe in the fall, do a walkabout. So
here we go.
Oh,
look at that. He's coming down. Gavin's got him a little bit. There
youth
he
over
is.
experience.
Yeah,
Gavin
there
Ziegler.
it is. There it is. Gavin Ziegler. Look at that. Hugs and smiles.
Can I
Love
have the
it.
day off tomorrow, boss? No.
Matter of fact, I need you in early.
That's
Because
right.
I'm going to sleep in.
Fantastic. Tammy, who do you got downstairs?
Gavin and Jess, both winners of a beach flags, both one's full-time, one's part-time guard, but both have been with us for years. How many years have you been with us?
7 or 8.
7.
7 years. They're lifeguards for life, that's for sure. Great showing here, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Tammy. Both of them, they were probably in the same recruit class and remembered it just now. Hey, yeah, I remember you.
So here's one thing I like to see. If you looked in the background of that shot, you got Logan and Aurora. Aurora's mom used to work here, Carrie.
Yes.
They're both in the competition camp this week.
Oh, wow.
And they're out here. We got a bunch of junior lifeguards out here watching our adult athletes. and getting involved and seeing what it's all about. I love
seeing
seeing
a lot of
that.
parents. Seeing a lot of parents. Hopefully, we're going to get some more with this kind of exposure that we're getting now in the last 3 years of this. I mean, again, it gives people an opportunity to see it online on social media, on YouTube and Facebook, on Volusia County's page. But hopefully, it will stimulate more spectators, more involvement, more recruiting.
It's not a very spectator-friendly sport because we're out in the ocean.
It's not.
So kudos again to Community Information for doing this for us for the past 3 years. This is great. And
great excuse to go to the
here
beach.
we got Liz
There's
Driscoll.
my wife, former Deputy Chief Liz Driscoll, my wife, and her successor, Amanda Wells, is doing the calculations now for the final results.
53 points for Ormond, and they cut away, but I hear cheers, so we've got a winner.
Who's
we
cheers?
just don't know who.
Are those Ormond
Let's
cheers?
pan in, see if we can see it.
My calculations were looking towards Ormond by 2 points. I'm not sure. I can't even tell who's running out into the ocean.
I'm looking.
Wow.
Tell us, Tammy, who won? We didn't see.
It looks like Ormond won by 1 point.
Lucy Noble up front.
1 point. Lucy Noble can't
There's
miss her
Lucy
hair.
Noble up front. Look at that. Ormond 53, Daytona 52.
New Smyrna finishes with a 39.
Wow.
Good showing by them. You know, it's a matter of seconds when it comes to these finishes. 1 point differential.
That was close, Jack.
Last year it was 2 points, and I didn't think it could get any closer. How did you do that? I don't even know how that happened. Oh,
That's
my
good racing.
goodness. That's good racing. Congratulations to Ormond. Sergeant Derek Taylor, Sergeant Mark Rodriguez have put together a big team.
And he predicted it.
He predicted
He called
it.
it. I got to give it to him.
I'll try to find the Ormond sergeant.
Okay.
Do an interview.
There should be 2 of them down there. I don't know. I didn't see Mark Rodriguez earlier, but Derek predicted it. He gets to have camera time.
Oh,
but
yeah.
again, once again, what a
Mark.
fantastic
You and Mark.
coverage! What a fantastic competition put on by Volusia
I
County Beach
got the
Safety
Ormond sergeants
2023.
here.
See all the Community Information waving in there, our production
Community
team.
Information is waving our production team. Our guys did a great job. The cameramen, the production crew, the drone footage that Chris Dembinski, one of our own, he's our IT specialist. I mean, you guys have gone over the top, way beyond. I don't know how you pull this off. We always have weather that we have to deal with, the elements, and you guys, the lighting and everything, you've really pulled it off. Tammy, you gonna give us one last word down there? Do we have time?
Yeah, we got the winning team right here and the sergeants of the winning team, and there's a lot of excitement and energy down here right now.
There's Mark Rodriguez.
What do you guys have to say for your team?
We killed it.
Taylor.
Our team did excellent. We got the best team in all of Volusia County. That's why we got first place tonight. Let's go!
No humbling comment
Really
there.
hard every day to get this done. Every day.
Yeah, Sergeant Rodriguez. They trained every day very hard, multiple times a day to get this win.
Former sprint specialist 4x100 and beach flags as well, Mark Rodriguez, and Derek Taylor, who participated at least today. Mark didn't, but he did. I guess they didn't need Mark's talent, huh?
They're growing some athletes up there in Ormond.
They sure are, and that's testament to the supervisors as well, and the Hydro 4 swim team up in Ormond Beach.
That's a big deal.
That's a good feeder program. They do have a little bit of advantage there, but nevertheless, we promise next year we'll have another big team full of competition from the Dunlawton zone.
Yes.
Guaranteed. We have a new station and restroom facility in design that was destroyed after the hurricane. So rest not, want not, but we'll have another team next year. AJ, appreciate it for you coming out. By the way, AJ participated in a little bit of a paddle last month.
I did.
Where did you go, AJ?
So we help raise money for cystic fibrosis through
Fantastic.
Piper's Angel Foundation. And I did a 2-person relay. We paddled from the Bahamas back to Lake Worth, Florida. So 82 miles.
82 miles. You started at midnight in Bimini.
Started at 12:45 in the dark with the sharks. Couldn't see where we were going, following our boat. And I would love to do it again.
Great. We do it all. Listen, folks, we appreciate you watching us on Volusia County's website and Volusia County's Facebook and YouTube page. Come see us again. Next year will probably be the second week of July. We'll be having it again here, God willing. Thanks for the community information team, Daryl and the boys, and Dave. Fantastic lead-ups to this all week long. They've been pumping media out, pumping us up over here at Volusia County Beach Safety, and we just thank you all for tuning in. Come see us at the beach.
What a great weekend. We'll see you guys down here in the water.
Bye now.